now. Are you ready?
Join from the corner where the big boys play.
What's going on, everyone? How we doing? Welcome to Live Stream Reviews. I'm Christian Karasevich, the content marketing manager at StreamYard, and I want to welcome you to Live Stream Reviews. For those of you who are new here, by the way, basically the way this show works is it's a weekly show, it's a first and third of the month, actually starting in August, by the way. So first and third of the month, first Saturday and the third Saturday of every month, we're going to be doing live stream reviews at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and my co-host Leticia Campbell, who I'm going to bring on here in just a second. By the way, we apologize for starting a little bit late here. We were working through some internet issues Leticia was having. I think she recently switched places. So we're working through her internet. We want to make sure you actually could see her because, well, at the time it was literally just, she was frozen. So I think we got it fixed and we're ready. But if you're new here, do us a favor, leave a comment and say, hey, you know what? I'm new. For those of you who have obviously seen the show before, you know that we basically share the backstage link. We bring you on screen. We want to talk about your live streams, what your challenges are, how we can help you be a better live streamer. So with that, I'm going to bring Leticia on and we're going to kick things off. Leticia, so good to have you join us yet again.
Yes. Nice to see you too as well, Christian.
I know. I was like, I had to, you know how you don't do things for, what's it been, a couple weeks? Don't do things for a couple weeks and you got to get back into, doing them. So I'm excited to be back for this show. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, by the way. So we've got some people here, LVM, Habib T vlogs. Good to see you. Actually, thanks a lot for joining us. We've got Freedom Patriot Network joining from Colorado here.
Awesome.
Matthew saying hi to you, Leticia, and then we've got Titsi. I think that's maybe how I pronounce that. What kind of streamer are you? Not sure if that question's directed at us, but just let us know. And Vera Vera Rising Wolf Star Van Leeuwen. I'm a new plan to use StreamYard to go live. So fantastic having you join us. And also Stephanie, thanks a lot. You wish to learn to use StreamYard. Yeah. So we're gonna help. We're gonna talk with other live streamers here. And then, in your case, like if you actually want to, like if you need like a refresher on using StreamYard, we actually have a webinar that you can go and sign up for. I'll get the link for that. But Leticia, do me a favor. Let's do we have I know we always start the show out with a question. What's today's question going to be?
Today's question is all about getting more engagement on your shows, on your streams. This is always the hot topic every time Christian and I do live stream reviews. So we want to give you guys some tips on how to build more engagements for your show.
Perfect. Okay, so do you want to talk about that one first?
Yeah, so I have like 6 ways that I do it, Christian, and I know we could piggyback off of these tips, and we would love for you guys to come on, for those of you who need help building up engagement on your streams. Now, my first thing I do is I see what's trending. Like you guys know, I'm really big on email marketing. That's what I teach. That's what I coach my clients on. So I always look at what are the top trends that's going on with email marketing discussions, right? And then I dive into collaborating with other people. Like I'm on this show right now with Christian. I also do some other collaborative shows as well. So to build, my audience, right? And then creating hype. How we do that is like, just like with this show, we promote it on social media, promote it to our email list, get it out there. And then timing is everything, guys. If you want to choose a time, make sure you're consistent with that, because so important. Interacting with your viewers, calling them out by name. We have a lot of you guys on here who have been on here who are watching us for a long time now. So calling you guys out by name. When somebody's on your stream, call them by name. They love that. People love shout outs. And also checking your equipment. Me personally, my internet is not working the way I want to do it today. So bad internet does affect your engagement for your show. So that is definitely very important.
Excellent questions. Yeah. So, by the way, Adam's saying you must have Comcast.
No, I don't.
So, yeah, I know they're always, I got to say, depending on the internet service you have, sometimes the internet services, they do, sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're not so good. But yeah, so by the way, Leticia's going to go ahead and she's going to actually log in from her phone or try to log in from her phone. And we're going to see how that works. By the way, another little tip, if you're, for example, noticing, for example, I'm streaming in 1080p right now. One thing that, Leticia, for example, could do in this situation, if she's having, say she's having internet issues, things like that, she can always lower the resolution as well, because it could be, what could end up happening is it's hitting basically a wall with the internet. And so she may need to lower the resolution to push less data through versus using, like if you're trying to run at 720p or 1080, for example. So that could be what's happening. But she's going to step off screen here for a second, I think. Yeah. And she's going to hook into her phone, actually. And yes, NLTMW, you're absolutely right. We have a bit of 8-bit view today. It happens to all of us. Absolutely. So that's also, by the way, why we always encourage you, if you're going to live stream, to be using an Ethernet cable. So hardwiring into your internet router. And the reason is because, as you're streaming, like if you're using Wi-Fi, for starters, the signal's got to go through all sorts of parts of your house, metal, for example, concrete, all these different things, objects in your office. Your internet is potentially bouncing. It is bouncing off of all of these objects. And so that does, have a strong chance to actually diminish the signal that you actually would normally have. When you hardwire, it means you're going to get basically going to get a straight line. You're going to get a consistent amount of data coming through at one time, as opposed to, as I mentioned, okay, it's really good. And then, okay, it really drops really low. And then it's really low for a while. And then it may go back up. So what I want to do, by the way, while I'm waiting for Leticia to come back in, is I'm going to drop the backstage link here to join us on screen. If you have a question, I noticed MTGV TV was saying they were having some sound questions. So do us a favor. Would love to have you join us on screen. Oh, good. I see her there. Perfect. So she's joined us. Let me just put this in here for everybody. By the way, if you do have a question, do us a favor. You can, if we're doing this show, as we're doing this show, you can use #ask in your comment, and we'll do our best to, answer it on screen here. We'd love to obviously have you join us on screen to answer that question. If you have a feature request, you can use #feature, and we'll also be taking those as well. So, and you only really need to put them in once, and we'll get to them. So fantastic. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so perfect. And by the way, as always, what we always like to do when we bring you on screen is we like to have you also have your webcam on, obviously, to answer that question. So Leticia says she's back. I'm going to bring her in. Leticia, how we doing? Okay. How's that? I think that's a little bit better, right?
I hope so. How's it?
Oh,
how
yes,
is it,
that
guys?
is actually better. I think it's better. Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So looking good. Okay. So I think you're looking good now. Only thing I see is just the top of your head is getting cut off. But aside from that, everything's good. By the way, another little tip there, by the way. So framing, I'm going to use you as an example here this morning, Leticia. So like a tip that I always get from a few friends of mine, they always tell me if you take two fingers, so if you're on screen like this right now and you take two fingers and put them above your head, that's typically how far you want to be. For example, if you're full screen and you have like a banner on the top, you want to be about two fingers from the top. So this way, again, you don't want to be this close. I don't want to be so far away. And then I also want to try to match my co-host. So in this case, Leticia and I want to try to be about as equal as we can be, because again, if I'm sitting back like this and Leticia up front, it looks different, right?
Yeah.
So try to match yourself.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay. So Leticia, we've got somebody waiting backstage. It's Miss
V.
So feel free to let's bring her on. Let's.
Hi.
How we doing?
Hi. This is so cool. I didn't expect to get caught up here. Super cool.
By the way, do you have headphones?
Are you hearing a sound? That's the sound I'm talking about.
So
Okay.
My headphones won't work.
right, I have a fix to that.
What?
So just go on mute so we're not doubling up. So I had that same issue with one of my guests, and I thought that it was coming from my end, but it wasn't. What happened was she had to go into cam/mic and do echo cancellation, and it eliminated that issue like right away. Oh, you're still on mute.
And yeah, go ahead.
Should I go try it and come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, you don't have to leave. You
Yeah,
can
you don't. Yeah,
literally
you
just
don't have
go
to
in
leave.
and
Right?
adjust.
You're right, Kristen. Yep.
Okay, I see it. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Like I honestly, and even when she tried to use headphones, my guess, it was still the same problem. So.
And
Yeah.
while she's doing that, I'm going to actually bring up I want to show you all this feature as well, by the way.
Right.
So
Did it go away?
Testing.
Do you still hear it?
still here.
I hope it went away. If it did, that cures everything. Did it go away? Or you still hear it?
Let's see.
Yeah, we're still hearing it. Yeah. Ooh.
So I guess my question for you is, okay, so you want to make, so I'd always recommend having headphones. And so you said you couldn't get them to work. So is that because they wouldn't?
Yes. Okay. So I have Bluetooth headphones that won't work for me. And then somebody told me I have to have the kind that go directly into the phone because I only use a cell phone.
Okay, so I would recommend using the ones you hardwire in.
Okay, I'll try that. But this is what I go through on my live streams. I literally have to mute anytime I'm not talking. If I bring a guest up, if I'm on there by myself, it's fine.
Wow.
So I don't get it.
And I can tell you, do you happen to have headphones with you, or like do you have hardwired ones you can plug in?
I'll go grab them. Hold on.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to actually show you how to do the echo cancellation feature.
Right.
And yes, and we're going to also let's address NLTMW's question. We'll address that one when she gets back, actually, because I think it's a really important one to address.
It is, and I'm noticing it's starting to happen more now than ever. Like I've never had that issue until just recently when I had a guest on for one of my shows, and she had absolutely no headphones at all. So it was like, yeah.
So what I want to show you here real quick. Okay, so here I am. I'm in the StreamYard dashboard. I'm going to show you this. So this is the StreamYard dashboard, and I'm actually going to go back one additional screen. So for example, I've got this test broadcast, and I'm going to enter this. And what I'm going to end up doing here. So for example, if I want to change the echo cancellation feature, for example, I'm just going to go to cam mic. And by the way, the screen might look new because we've been making a few adjustments behind the scenes. So this way you can kind of see your voice levels.
I like the new font, Christian. I thought it was something I pressed wrong, and I was like, why does it look different?
No, we've made a couple little changes. Yeah, little subtle tweaks. We got some big stuff coming out, by the way.
A little spice.
So I went into cam mic, and then I'm going to go down to audio, and I'm going to check the echo cancellation box. And I'm just going to read this to you all. So don't turn this off unless you have a high quality microphone and are wearing headphones or don't have any guests. So basically you should have echo cancellation on for the most part. If you don't have any guests on and things like that. So I would recommend having echo cancellation on. All you have to do is simply it's as simple as checking the box. So we check the box, we go back out, and we can go into our studio at that point. So I'd strongly encourage you to use the echo cancellation feature, have it enabled again, and then also kind of talking about just the idea of like wearing headphones during live streams. I always recommend it.
Me too.
Whether you're on mobile, like for 100%, I recommend it if you're on mobile, because For example, if I'm using this and I'm using like the built-in mic, this mic is designed to like, I mean, it's a good mic, but it's not great. And so it's going to pick up every little thing around you. So if you put air conditioning on, you know, if you're tapping on your desk, for example, anything like that, your phone is picking that up.
Right.
So I'd always recommend having headphones. And just a note, you know, we always recommend using the wired ones. And the reason is because if you are going to be streaming from mobile, the browser has there's a limitation that they have where they don't allow you to connect to like the camera feature and, you know, the ability to use different mics, like external mics. So the mic they recognize is the hardwired mic. So that's a browser limitation. Okay. So MSV, let's unmute. So here's another tip, by the way, another streaming tip. If you do have guests on, for example, I'm going to use you as an example, Miss V. And so if I, for example, right now, if she muted herself, as the host, we can't unmute her. And so that's something you also want to, you know, make sure you're reminding your guests. If you have somebody you're interviewing, things like that, let them know that, you know what, I'm going to control the mute on my end so that, you know, at this point, if I need to quickly unmute her and things like that, I can do that versus when I have to wait on her to unmute herself. So just keep that in mind. So, okay, let's talk. So you got headphones in, I think, or no?
Yeah, I had the wires.
Okay.
Oh, it sounds so much better.
I gotta say, you sound so much better. Yes.
Yeah, your voice even sounds better. Yeah.
So you don't hear that sound anymore?
Nope.
No.
So that's what it is?
That's it.
Thank you so much. And you know what? I don't know. Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Okay. So the new tool, that gaming tool that they have, is that not allowed on a cell phone? Because I couldn't get mine to work on a cell phone.
Which gaming tool are you talking about?
It's the one that
the giveaway tool?
Yes.
So the way the giveaway tool works is you have to open it in. I don't think it works on mobile. You have to open it in a second window as well. That's the other thing. So it has to, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You just made my day because I almost gave up. I'm like, why does this keep happening? And but if StreamYard is for Bluetooth, why doesn't it allow my Bluetooth to work?
So the Bluetooth will connect to your phone, but then and I briefly just mentioned this actually a second ago. So the browsers have limitations on what they allow access to. So for example, they don't allow access to, like, for example, using Bluetooth. For example, like if it's an iPhone, you should use the hardwired connection. It does also pick up, I think, AirPods, but otherwise it doesn't. So it's not going to pick up.
Okay.
It's a browser limitation thing. Like for example, if it's iPhone, it's picking up the iPhone. So I'd recommend, again, hardwired. And I also, by the way, I'd recommend the hardwiring for the most part because Bluetooth headphones, I mean, they're great for certain things, but they actually don't really, they sound good to us, like on our end, but the viewers, they actually don't sound very good to viewers. Like I'll use AirPods as an example.
Well,
like AirPods sound great, like when you're listening to them, but like you should hear them. Do what?
Simple fix.
Yes.
I'm gonna say hello to my friends on the Simply Talking podcast. How are you? Can you hear me?
Breaking up.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh man, so I start breaking up. See, I don't know then.
Well, so here's the thing though. This is a totally separate issue, and that separate issue is that so if you're using like a cell phone signal, there's no way to hardwire the cell phone into the router, so you're getting consistent internet. And so you're very likely you're using the cell phone service, like the cellular service or the Wi-Fi. And so again, that's also a big reason why, like, we strongly encourage using a laptop, for example, because you can hardwire into the router. The phones are, they're good to a certain point, but if your signal's not very good, it's going to do what it's doing now, which is it's dropping packets is what happens. So it's dropping
so what about now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just went in and changed the changed it to wireless speaker.
So that doesn't really affect
What the heck?
That's not going to affect. So the speaker aspect is the sound aspect.
Right.
But if you're dropping, like if your internet, for example, is freezing up, that's the signal on the phone, for example. So almost like two different, basically
so
different things. What was that?
I can't hear.
Now?
Say it again.
Uh-oh.
So I know I can't hear you. But what I would say is, and I know you're muted. But what I would say, I'd strongly encourage you again to use a laptop for streaming. Adam's Exploits mentions, he doesn't know if you're using on Wi-Fi or cellular data, but this is the one thing, if you are using mobile, like mobile's not always going to be, it's not going to be the best signal you can get for streaming. So you are going to end up with what you're going to have happen right now, which is it's basically data loss, and that's because of the phone. It's the fact that you're using a mobile device to stream, as opposed to plugging into a computer or being hardwired into it, on the internet. So, and there's lots of really comments here. Mobile devices, they break up too often. Yeah, they do, because again, it's not a consistent signal that it's getting. So I can't tell if she's still there or is she frozen, Leticia?
I think she's frozen.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do with Miss V. We're gonna take you off screen, and then we're gonna hold on, there you go.
I think she's back.
Unmute yourself, please.
Can you guys hear me?
We can, yes. Yep. So
okay, so I just took the earbuds out. I heard you saying that it works better on the computer. I know that, but dang, it's for the cell phone too.
It is, but the thing is, it's not like Leticia, do you want to explain that one?
Well, I know, especially when you're on with guests, even like for me, I'm using my cell phone right now, and I'm still pixelated. It's not enough power. It's like it does affect your internet when you're on a cell phone, especially when you're on with guests. So ideally, you should, if you're going to have guests on, or if you're going to be streaming like in areas where where there's a lot of it also depends on your household, because like, for example, my household, everyone's basically on the Wi-Fi. Kids are using their tablets. So it does affect the quality of my streams, especially when I'm on with a guest. But since I moved, this is a different area. So I have to have somebody come here and figure out what's the dead zone. Because sometimes in your house, you can have dead zones. Even though you have Wi-Fi, there could be dead zones around your house that, and I would love to take your suggestion, Christian. Like, should we get something like an extender, or just have two routers in the house? Like, what are some of the things that you recommend?
Well, first of all, I probably should I don't use Wi-Fi. I only use my phone. I don't have internet. So that's probably what it is. If I had Wi-Fi, okay, that helps. That helps.
Right.
So,
right.
Okay. Well, at least I know it's not just me. It's my phone.
Right.
Yeah, and so you had two problems here that we had. So the first one was like wearing headphones. So when you so first off, check the audio, the echo cancellation feature, leave that checked. Okay. And then wear headphones, and we recommend wearing the wired ones. And I got to say, I mean, your audio sounded 100 times better when you put the headphones in, and it actually sounded rich. It sounded warm. It sounded very good. And plugging that in, unplugging it, for example, that's not going to affect the signal, the picture quality, the things like that. That's just affecting the audio. So that's the first thing. And then going back to what Leticia was saying, if I'm on my cellular phone, for example, it's good for certain things, but it's not great for it's not great for getting a consistent live stream and getting all that data up to the internet. And so that's why you are going to have some of those freezes. There were a couple people that were mentioning, that you end up with like if you can be on wireless, that's ideal. But being on cellular, like you're gonna have some of those packet losses because it's fast for certain things, but it's not fast for everything, like the cellular signal. And also, again, when you bring the phone into a structure, like i.e. into a house, you're gonna have, like, for example, I'll tell you right now, I have 1 bar of service in my house right now. And so if I tried to stream with that, it's not going to be a good stream. It's going to be very choppy. It's going to be very blocky. And then when you tack on other people and all that other stuff that goes with it, it just makes for an interesting experience.
So, I don't have full bars right now either. So Leticia keeps getting cut off because she's on her cell phone.
I think she was switching her service. Actually, I think she was on a cell phone signal. I think she's trying to adjust her camera and things like that. So.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go on my lunch break now.
Perfect. Yeah. And here's the thing. Keep at it. Like, seriously, keep at it with your live streams. And be sure to join us again for another episode. And you don't have to come on if you have like just an issue. It could just be you want to come on and learn, because there's so many great people here that join and like to share a lot of really good tips as well. So feel free to join us anytime.
You will see me often because I'm trying to learn everything I can right now. Yep. So thank you so much, Christian.
Perfect. Anytime. That's what we're here for.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Fantastic. Okay. So Leticia's coming back, I think. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. So she's going to go change. She told me she's going to go change her router. We're going to see how, I think she's just going to restart it actually. So we'll see. Okay, so while I'm waiting, let me actually go through a couple of the comments here. So Terrence is asking for shortcuts to switch between cameras, things like that. Okay, so Terrence, that's actually, I got it noted. We are actually working on that feature. I know that we've had a lot of requests for that one. So shortcuts are being worked on. I don't have a release date, but I can tell you they're being worked on. Let's see. Griffo Production, thanks a lot, by the way. We really appreciate it. If you want to join us, you have any tips or advice for our guest, let us know. You're more than welcome to join us. Let's see. Oh, go ahead, Leticia. You're back? You're muted, actually. Let me see.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I was like, let me switch routers.
No worries.
Yeah.
And then I have another question I want to go through real quick. Adam's Exploit says, I have issues quite often with guests not having earphones. I try to suggest they get a cheap pair at Target or Walmart or use the set that came with their phone, but it doesn't always work. So I got to say, it is hard to get people to wear headphones. Mm-hmm. But the other thing is, like, I keep like just cheap pairs lying around.
Me too.
For example, every single phone that I ever get, I never use the headphones that come with it. But guess what? I got a whole drawer of them because, again, I don't use them, but if I need them in a pinch, I have them.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I know in the past, Christian, you mentioned that, especially if this is a show that you're doing permanently with somebody, like if you have a permanent co-host, and at the time, maybe they, are unable to get headphones. Maybe a good idea is for you to send them headphones just to borrow for now, so that way you guys can do your shows every week. So that's one really good idea. Yes. So Freedom Patriot Network said feature requests, add a raise hand feature for other guests don't talk over each other. Oh, that's a good idea. I can see how that work if you have like 10 people on for sure. I've seen shows like that, Christian, where it was a little bit uncomfortable to listen, because when you have like 10, 12 people on, trying to stop people from talking over each other is almost near to impossible.
So I'm making a note of this. I like that. That's a good idea. Very good.
Yeah, me too.
So add a feature, add a raise hand feature for guest. Okay.
Yes. And for those of you who want to hop on screen, I'm going to be adding the guest link again here in the chat. So you guys.
I know we had Moises a second ago. I think Moises was coming in.
He froze.
By the way, while Leticia's doing that, I just want to we're talking about headphones. I just got up for a second to go get some headphones. So I've got these are just some Apple headphones that came with my phone, for example. So I've got these, you know, I also have these as well that came with a phone as well.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah. So Christian, I've used wireless headphones in the past, and the reason why I don't like them is because it was even the good ones, even like the ones I spent a lot of money on, it picked up all the sound. And I live in the city, so I'm by the LIRR, the trains and stuff, so it picks up everything, and it sounds so horrible.
so I gotta say, I'm gonna give you, maybe this is a joke, I guess. Maybe the good thing is, the one good thing about having it pick up all that sound is that you don't have to add background music to your live streams
at all. No, there's no way
get,
it's gonna play at all. Yeah, it's like that.
well, I was gonna say you get real background music, like you get the train aspect, things like that.
You get the subway, you get the noise, everything.
By the way, I want to show you guys. This as well. So this is the Apple. Like these came in the, I think, the iPhone box. For example, little tip for you: flip it over. And the reason I said this is because, let me see if I can get this to. Here, hold on 1 second. By the way, I put some new lights in. They're a little bit bright. So
those are bright, Christian boy.
They're a little bright. So let me see if I can make this. If I can get this. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. I'm gonna get a little bit closer. There's always this little trick where you put your hand behind it.
Which light is that? Is that the
These are the Elgatos, actually.
Elgato, yes.
Here, so hold on. Let me actually.
It's doing this thing though, and it's bright.
Let me see if I can lower it. So it's at like. By the way, this is only. What percent is this? This is 25%. So I'm gonna lower it even more.
Like boss equipment, boy.
Nah. So okay. So here, maybe this is okay. So here we go. Yeah. So okay, if you go into the back, if you flip these headphones over.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you guys this. So if you flip these headphones over, just make sure you do this. So when you flip them over on the back, hopefully, yeah, there you go. I think you can see that. There's actually a dongle that's connected. That's usually on the back that will let you plug this into your phone and plug other headphones in. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people, they unpack these and then they forget that on the back, there's usually something.
Oh my God. You know how many people probably didn't even care to notice that or what? Wow. Learn something new every day.
Very cool. So, okay. So let's see. Do we have any questions? Any other questions coming in from?
We have a lot. We have a lot of questions, lots of comments coming in.
Okay.
Adam said I'm displaying the StreamYard swag. Thank you. I love this cup. It's
an awesome cup.
It's really good.
Let's see.
Okay, so this is an interesting question. Diana Souls asks, do you guys ever plan on having chat commands along with mods?
So what do you mean by chat commands?
Yeah, join us on screen, Diana, so you can let us know.
Is that her? Because that'd be awesome if that was like.
No, that's Sue. Hey, Sue.
Okay, cool. So Diana, do us a favor, join us on screen with that, or in the comments, put a comment, hashtag ask, and just let us know a little bit more about what you mean by chat commands. I'm more than happy to take that down as a request.
To know.
I just need to understand it a little bit.
Right. That
cool.
Sounds really cool.
Let me answer this one real quick from Mikkel here, real quick. What earphones or headsets do you guys use? So
a lot.
No. So okay, I want to answer.
It depends, though. I have to say, for me, it does depends. I have one that I use that goes behind my ear. I have this one here that I actually purchased with my cell phone because I couldn't find the one that went behind my ear this morning. So I have a few. I have one that I just use just to listen to videos, podcasts, and music and stuff. So it just really depends, to be honest. I always say get a variety of headphones. Just in case, you're going to use it for different things. And I also obviously have Bluetooth headphones as well. How about you, Christian?
So a couple of things. I think to answer your question, which ones do we use? Let's start with the question for you, which is, are you on desktop or are you on mobile?
Right. True.
And so, because if you tell me you're on mobile, I'm going to tell you to get a pair of wired headphones. Yeah. And the reason is because, if you're using, for example, the iPhone, they'll pick up the AirPods and they'll pick up the wired headphones, but they likely will not pick up other Bluetooth headphones when you're trying to stream from the browser. They'll pick them up for like music and things like that, but like that's because of how it's kind of designed. If you are on a laptop, so I'm going to echo the same sentiment that Leticia says, which is when I'm working out, I have a pair of Bluetooth headphones that I wear for working out. That's all I use them for, or like listening to music or things like that, right? But if I'm doing live streaming, I am using, these are, I think, the Shure SE215s, and they're hardwired. So I have those, and they're plugged in here. This is a 6-foot extension cable that I have. And I have that so that I can actually, like, literally I got up while we were talking, went and picked up my headphones and came back. So, so that's what I wear when I'm streaming. I also have these, but I don't use them. They are, I have a pair of,
send them to me.
These are, so these are Shure, wireless, in-ear monitors. I don't use these for anything else as well. I don't use them for streaming. I might use them to listen to, like, if I had to be on a call with somebody, I might use them for something like that. But I don't use them for streaming because they have a short battery life on them. And so if I'm doing any sort of like long live stream, I don't want them to cut out.
Right.
So that's something you have to keep in mind. So that's headphones. Okay, Leticia, let's bring on some guests and answer.
Yes, so we're going to bring on Sue. Sue had a question. She said she was wondering if it's possible to reorder the guests backstage and any share screens or video files. So let's add Sue on. Hi,
Hey, Sue, how you doing?
Hi, I'm going to say a big hello from North Wales in the UK.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for streaming. I love watching your streams. It's really helpful and really informative.
Thank you. So what is your shows about?
So I actually am one of the directors of a social enterprise here in Wales, and we run a shop called the Rainbow Biz Hippie Shop, and we also run lots of projects. So the money that we raise through the shop funds projects. One of them's a gardening project. There's another that's a walking project. So I've started now to stream from lots of different places, which has been really good fun. And my question was about the, you know, when you've got people backstage, and like today I did a stream, you'll see it on the Rainbow Biz Hippie Shop with some guests, and I'd lined up some videos and a couple of guests. Because I had about 3 videos, the guests were kind of moving down the line, if you like. So I really wanted to kind of move those guests up higher without having to re-upload the videos and stuff. And I couldn't kind of reorder what was happening backstage. And I wondered if that's possible.
So the, I guess the first question I have, so in terms of reordering guests, you can't reorder them on that bottom strip that's there. So basically it's the order that they come in.
Right.
Okay.
In terms of videos, so how were you playing the videos? Were they through the brand tab?
No, I'd uploaded them on a, you know, with the share. Yeah, the share feature.
Okay. So I know we're working on the ability to move to reorder, like, I know the brand section. So if it's a short video, things like that, I know we're working on being able to reorder there because we get a lot of requests for that. I can make a note though about having the ability to reorder the, you know, shared videos and participants, if that will help.
I like that.
Yeah, because I mean, like today, for instance, I had 2 different guests waiting. I had 3 short videos that I'd done through the shared option, and also was sharing my screen because I was showing our website. I was also doing a giveaway and using your giveaway tool, which I absolutely love. That works really well as well. Thanks.
Anytime. Okay, so yeah, so I'm making a note right now. So you want to be able to reorder guests in shared videos, not from the brand tab.
I like that idea as well, especially if you have guests that supposed to come on at a certain time.
Yes,
organize them as a host, just so everything is there before you go.
It's almost like a play-in order, yeah. Like
exactly, yeah. I like that idea a lot.
And that is one thing, also, by the way, Leticia kind of mentions that is bringing things in the having a run of show.
Yes.
Of how you want to run things.
We can't do anything without it.
Bringing those people in. That's definitely, you know, another thing I think I at least for me, that's the way I like to work. I like to have the run of show ready so that, you know, when we're doing the stream, everything is ready to go and I could just, you know, basically produce versus hey,
I'm feeling more like a producer every day. It's incredible. What a great bit of software you guys have built. It's just phenomenal. I love it.
Right.
Fantastic.
And just so you guys know, your run of show changes. Like Christian and I have another show that we do a run of show for. And Christian, like, it has evolved since the first time. It was actually Christian's idea to do it at first. And I was like, cool. And it just made it so much easier. And even I have another show that I've had to run a show for about a year, and now we just hired a producer. So when he said, well, my price, you know, it costs this much because we have to do I was like, no, you can take that quote off because I already have run a show. I'll just give you mine to use. So that's another thing that's awesome about having run a shows, is this makes everything organized. Yep.
Yeah, we don't have the luxury. It's me basically doing the presenting and trying to produce it all at the same time. And I am a rookie, and like many others, I started off with the free version, which is fabulous. You know, really good features in that. But I wanted to pay back to StreamYard, but also could see the benefit of using, you know, we've got a basic plan now we've just signed up for, and we've got all the backgrounds and stuff now, and it's all branded, and it just looks so much better. I'm seeing our live streams sort of evolve as we sort of learn new skills with the software, you know.
That's real cool.
And by the way, I want to bring your I want to show your channel up to our viewers real quick here. So this is our channel, Rainbow Biz CIC. One piece of advice, by the way, I would give you, you know, and I like the fact that, like, you know, you mentioned you're a rookie, you know, at doing this, like, start small. We all started at the same place for the most part, you know, like, you don't have to have the fancy intro video and all of that sort of thing. I mean, I'd focus, for example, on the content, get the content really good, get the audience consistently tuning in.
Right.
And then you can start to add some of those features and things like that, you know, the, you know, different ways to enhance the live stream that you're doing. So I will, like, one little piece of advice also, by the way, on your streams. So it looks like you stream this. One thing I would work on is having a thumbnail image on your live streams.
Right.
So that these tell me what these videos are about. So for example, tarot readings with Mo, I'd make the artwork, you know, that has something to do with tarot,
like tarot cards readings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because people are going to see this on YouTube, and you know, the same thing, they're going to see these shorts videos, and they're probably going to make an immediate judgment call of like, oh, well, that looks like somebody's just filming from their cell phone, versus having like that thumbnail up there. It does stand out a lot more. So I would do something like that.
Fabulous. Thank you. I will look at that.
And again, keep building your subscribers. You got 175, so keep going. By the way, I gotta say, I like the style of these.
Me too.
Jazz's story and Ratty and whatnot.
Right.
The one thing I would, if I were doing that, what I would do is I like the style. I would actually consider adding like a thumbnail with their name on it, for example.
Yeah.
Things like, you know, something like that to help it stand out as well. Like, because I think it looks really good. So
I like it too.
Brilliant. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I wasn't expecting to get a bit of advice there. That's cool. Thank you. Because I was going to say, I think there's another show where you can request to have your channel reviewed. I've caught that
the YouTube
playback,
right?
But but I think it's just because of the time zones and stuff. I just can't kind of get it together because we're in the UK. So, but how amazing is this? I just kind of caught you live and thought, oh, what are these guys talking about? And I've jumped on.
Awesome.
We really appreciate it. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you to everyone, you guys and the whole team at StreamYard. We do appreciate it.
Yes, just keep putting up content. I think that's the thing for those of us who have that under 1,000 subs, we feel like, okay, we're going to put more content out there when we're monetized. But I think definitely doing it beforehand so that your audience can binge watch your content. That's what I do in the mornings. Like, I go on a YouTuber's playlist, I hit play, and I'm literally listening to video after video after video. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you might take a peek at ours. Let me know what you think.
For sure. You put your channel in the private chat so I can follow you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
I
gotta say, all the new people we have tuning in as well. This is, I mean, just I love seeing everybody streams and what all you're doing, and you know, hearing like where you're at in your live streaming journey and how we can help you level that up.
Yeah, and you got to start from somewhere. Like, I would be honest, like, I miss those days when I first started streaming on Periscope, because it was just, we just did it. And back then there was no manual. It was just like, oh, live streaming, let's just go and do it. And I think that's the thing that we got to just take it to the basics as if we were children learning our ABCs. It's like you got to start with A and then you go to Z. It's like, I think that would take the hardness and the challenges out of it. Just go and learn as you go. I always say jump and grow your wings on the way down. That's what I always tell them.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Very yes. Good. You want to run through some comments, Christian?
Yeah, I'm actually noting a lot of these feature requests from people. So let's see. So, and let me know what timestamp you're at, actually, if you find some good ones. Griffo, by the way, is asking, is there a way to create transitions when putting up a picture? So I'll make a note of that, by the way, right now, Griffo, about transitions between screens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else do we have here? How can you make your stream have sound without a mic? So Alex, how can you make your stream have sound without a mic? So I can't tell if you're, by the way, sorry, Leticia's fixing her internet connection again. Sorry, it's a running theme for this week's show, but how can you stream without, how can I make my stream have sound without a mic? So for example, if you're using a laptop, your laptop has a built-in mic. You just need to go into the cam mic settings on StreamYard and enable the microphone. So that's, I think, one of the first things I would do. By the way, for everybody who's also watching with us, NLTMW, Adam's Exploits, if you have any recommendations as well for Alex VK, do me a favor, put those in the comments. And Alex, do me a favor, if you can just kind of elaborate as well. I'd love to kind of hear more about your setup, or maybe even join us on screen so we can help you with that. Okay. So Sue, we got your comment about reordering guests, sharing screens, and so forth. Got that noted. Let me see. We got the chat commands one. Let's see. So Don, why aren't you giving a shareable link for your guest? Actually, you do get a shareable link for your guests. So you have a couple of different links, actually. And I'm watching our guest, Hisham Mooden, here backstage. He was just nodding his head. Yeah. So you get a couple of things. So for starters, let me actually pull this up in a StreamYard dashboard. And oh, good, Leticia, you're back. Okay, so Don, actually, so there's a couple of things here. So a guest gets a shareable link. So like, for example, if I wanted to bring, like, for example, backstage, we got Real Mighty Joe here. We're going to bring him on in a second. We've got Fighter's Voice here backstage. Going to bring them on in a second. So they got a shareable link to come onto the live stream. And so you can get that. I'm going to actually show you where you could get all this. So inside your StreamYard dashboard, you're going to see this. And so basically there is, I'm going to take a comment down. So if you click on the invite guest option, this is the guest link that you would give somebody to bring them into your live stream.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first side. So so you have to look at it like this. If you want to bring them into the live stream, like with you, like Leticia's on screen with me right now. Hisham here is backstage. Real Mighty Joe, they're backstage. If I want to bring them into the stream, I send them this guest link, invite guests to the broadcast studio. Right. Now, on the other side of that, if I want to get a shareable link for social media, I go up here to to my destinations, for example. And like, let's say I was going to share into the StreamYard Facebook group, for example. I would fill all this stuff out, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be an option. And actually, let me go back one screen. I think you can see this. Yeah, right here. So for example, this is our stream right now. And there's an option. If I click this and it says view on Facebook. So this is the Facebook page, the Facebook group, the YouTube channel, and the LinkedIn channel. So if you click one of these, this is going to give you a link that you could send out to like your email list and things like that. This is where people can go watch. So I think that's what you're looking for. If it's not, do me a favor and just let us know in the comments.
Right.
Cool. Okay, Leticia, feel free to bring someone else on, and I'm making some other notes here, by the way.
Yes. So the person that we have next,
I think it's Real Mighty Joe, right?
Yes, Real Mighty Joe. Yep. Let's bring him on.
How we doing, Real Mighty Joe?
Hey guys, doing good. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Yep.
All right, good. All right, so you got my earphones. First of all, great show. I haven't caught this before live or anything. I subscribed to the channel when I started using StreamYard. It's the first show I've ever gotten to see. Really cool that you guys, take all the feedback from the people using the product and stuff. I think that's really awesome.
Thank you.
So I do a show where I do like a lot of different news clips and just stuff from around the internet. So I do a lot of video sharing and stuff like that. I have people call in. So one of the things is like whenever you go to share a tab, you always have to like click share sound and stuff like that. And I have to go and like kind of mute myself or mute the guests. So I was wondering if there was any kind of plans to kind of create like an audio control area in the same way that you have like your screen sharing stuff where we could like quickly mute all the guests at once or
I see.
that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that. And the other thing would be as far as kind of like being able to set up more than one window in like a playlist. Like if I wanted to maybe order a couple of videos that come from a few different websites, if we could have like an easier tab to kind of pull up more than one link. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because
sure.
right now I'm in the browser and stuff, so I have to like stop sharing that video and start sharing another video to like get the next video. It'd be cool if we could like order more than one tab in a row or something like that. Make it like I don't know if that's I have the $20 a month plan or whatever, so I don't know if that's a feature that's available or not. But
sure. So let me actually do this real quick. So let me make a note of your feature request. So you're asking for audio controls.
So cool that you guys do that. Yeah.
So you're asking for audio controls to be able to mute like all guests. Okay. Yeah. And then you're also asking for tell me about the second one as well. So
like I do a lot of the screen sharing, 2 different tabs. Mm-hmm. And I have to basically stop the screen share and then start it for the next tab. It would be cool if there was almost like a way we could order like a playlist. Like I want to share this tab, then this tab, then this tab, or something. I don't know if that's possible or if that kind of conflicts with how you do your screen sharing and stuff.
Okay, got it. So you want the ability to create a playlist of like tabs, videos, etc.
Yeah.
Be able to.
And I was going to say, the just to echo what Sue said, I mean, just the features in general, I do it as a hobby and it like really looks fun and like really pro for someone who's just doing this for fun and messing around, I'm really impressed with how good I was playing with all your features the other day on a live. I'm like popping up pictures and stuff. I'm like, ooh, this is cool. Like,
right.
Very good. I've been using it for about 2 months and it's a lot of fun.
So I want to give you a suggestion, actually. Let me actually pull this up so I can show you how this works. And by the way, what's your channel on YouTube, by the way? Do you have a YouTube channel, I assume? Yeah,
Real Mighty Joe. Yeah.
Okay, let me just pull that up real quick.
Love it.
What do you stream about, by the way?
So it's a little bit of everything. Like I said, I do some news. I do go over current events, just give my opinions, reactions to stuff.
Okay.
So it's like commentary.
I do some music and rapping and interview people and a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So by the way, I'm going to bring this up real quick. I think it's this, right?
Bro Jogan type stuff,
Right.
This is the one, right?
That's me. Yeah. There you go.
So I had a couple of tips for you here. I'm going to give you a few tips. So for episodes, by the way, if you want, I mean, you're doing good getting 50, 60 views. That's actually really good getting consistent streamers. I would recommend on the titles, talk more about what it's about. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like if I interview a specific person, I try and do that. A lot of them, I'm taking a lot of feedback from the audience as far as what we look at during each show too. So like they'll post and we'll be like, okay, we're going to go check that out now. So it's a little bit of, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So that's one tip I'd say there. And then the other thing is considering organizing these into playlists of certain topics. So,
okay, that's a good idea. Okay.
This way, like, because here's the thing, like, you've got, I don't know what, like, I'm brand new to your channel. And so if I'm like, hey, I want to check out your live stream, I don't know which one to start with.
Right.
So, so I'd recommend maybe setting up some playlists of things like that. So,
okay, yeah. So that'd be like interview shows or just, okay, I get you. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. Appreciate that. Very cool. Yeah, it's a weird show, so I warn all your viewers, take it with a grain of salt if anyone wants to go check it out. But yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. Like I said, we just the community building, the ability to have people on easily. I was trying to do everything through YouTube before and download Zoom, and it was just so complicated trying to sew the different elements together, and it's nice you guys have it all kind of baked into one platform,
Yeah. Fantastic. By the way, so the other thing I want to share with you real quick. So you were asking about like being able to share a lot of stuff at the same time, for example.
Yeah.
One thing I actually do, and I've been using Canva quite a bit, and I'm going to show you this. So here's just like a standard Canva dashboard, for example, and just let's say I want to create a design. I'm just going to make we'll just do this. Okay. So let's say I'm just going to do a very standard Canva design. Okay. And so Canva has this new feature, and it's basically, it's a presentation is what I'm basically building. It looks like this. Okay. And so I'm just going to throw some basic stuff on here. I'm just going to throw a standard, let's say I throw a brick wall on the background. Doesn't matter, whatever it is. Okay. And then let me actually grab another thing. I'm going to grab a link real quick and I'll show you how this works.
Now, is Canva, is that a website or is that a software?
It's a website, but it's software. It's software on a website.
Like your guys' thing. Okay, same kind of idea.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so let me just grab something real quick. So let's do this. Okay, so say I'm in Canva here, and so this is basically the way I work or have been working. So I'm actually going to make a presentation. So let's just make a new presentation. I'm just going to pick any random one. I just literally want one slide. So say it's this. Okay. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry about that. They always open a new tab. That's always fun. So let me pull that up for you guys. Okay. So it's going to look like this. So I have a presentation in Canva. So I went to Canva. I created a presentation. I'm just going to add a basic background. We're going to throw in this wall, for example. Okay. And so you'll get an idea of why I'm doing this in a second. Okay, so then Canva, inside of the presentation feature, they have a new feature to be able to add. Let me actually find it. Okay, so I have these new features called Embeds. And so let's say I'm like, hey, I want to share something on screen. For example, I'm literally pasting a tweet into this. And this is actually then being pulled directly from Twitter. Does this make sense?
Okay. Yeah. So it could be anything, right? Yeah.
It could be pretty much anything. Yeah. And so I can drop this in there, right? And then I could be like, well, hey, I have another item. So I can just duplicate this and we can put another URL and so forth in there. And then basically what these become, I can then page between them. So I have one item that I share during my stream.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I get you. So that would let me order the different tabs.
Yes. So you could put pretty much you could put everything in there. It's one presentation. You then share that one presentation and you can flip between each thing. You just you literally just leave it open.
That would be very helpful. All right. Oh. Yeah, that's cool. And it's Canva. Okay.
Yes, it is. And actually, I'm going to just highlight real quick from my friend Eileen Smith here. Canva, yeah, they do have a desktop application as well. But yeah, a lot of people use the web. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna definitely check that out. That'll upgrade us again, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, yeah. And do me a favor, if you have any questions about this, if you're get stuck on it, or seriously anything, you can private message me anytime. And I'm more than NLTMW, JVlog, you all both know. I mean, you can just message me anytime, and I'll respond and help you all out. So.
Man, awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate how much you guys are behind what you do and engage with the people that use your product. I mean, it's amazing. Very few people do that. So it's really, really cool. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And if you have any other questions, remember, you can either reach out to us directly. We also have the StreamYard Facebook group. I don't know if you're part of that.
Yeah, it might be. If not, I'll check that out too.
So it's facebook.com/groups/StreamYard community.
Okay.
I'll just drop it. I'm going to just drop that in the comments because it's a little bit easier. Okay. But if you join our Facebook group, our community, we have 20-something thousand plus people there, and you can ask any questions, and we're more than happy to answer them. So
cool, man. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for the tips. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Have a great weekend. Right. Bye.
Bye.
Very cool. Okay, so let me go back through some of these comments. Let me see if Leticia. So she said she's fixing her internet connection, but hopefully she's going to come back here shortly. Let me just catch up on some of these comments, by the way. Let's see. Lots of comments, by the way, about headphones here. So I'm going to, Adam's Exploits asking, he's saying, so I've got the Shure SE215s. They're like, I think about $70. You can use something called the Mi 6s that he's using. They're about $15 to $16. They're more like for working out, things like that, but they're both good in-ear headphones for blocking the noise, and then you get an audio extension cable. So great recommendation there. Let's see. Chuma Shadrach Chabisa is saying, is it possible to add customized lower thirds when you're streaming? So yes, you actually can do something like that. And I'm gonna show you how to do this real quick. By the way, I want to thank everybody who's backstage waiting for us to bring you in. We ran a couple internet issues today, and so it throws things off a little bit. But okay, so this is the backstage area in StreamYard. And so if you want to actually go and you want to have, if you want to go and show, like, for example, you want to have a custom overlay, say it's a lower third or something like that. We have different ones set up in here, as you can see. And so this, for example, is one that we have. And so this is basically this, you can make this in Canva and Easel. It doesn't really, any design program. And basically what you're doing is you basically just like, let's just say you only wanted this bottom right-hand corner item. You'd make your design with that, save it as a PNG file, which is going to give you a transparent background. And then all you have to do is go into your overlay section in your brand tab. So go to brand, overlays. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, just click this plus, click the plus sign here, and it's going to add it to the overlay section. And then you can just bring it up just like this. So that's as simple as it is. So I hope that answers your question. Leticia, are you good to go? Okay, I'll keep going while I'm waiting for her. Okay, so Thabo is asking, is StreamYard planning to offer separate video tracks for guests? Secondly, creating folders that manage different assets under the brand tab. Those have different shows. So you could already do the brand tabs feature. I'm going to bring that back up. So if you're managing different shows, if you go under brands, for example, and you go to the drop down here at the top, you actually can create different folders and things like that. So that addresses your second question. You can also do the same thing for banners. So for example, we have one for live stream reviews. We have some sample banners as well. So you can already create folders and just click the create folder option. So that's for creating different banners, and then the same for this as well. If you want different brands, just click there. In terms of offering separate video tracks for guests, that's something that we are, I have noted as a feature request. We get a lot of people asking for that. So, so I know, let's see. So we do the separate audio tracks now. If you have the Pro plan, you can go under Cam Mic Audio, and then, sorry, Cam Mic General, actually, and you can share your, you can actually set it up to do that sort of thing. So let me show you that one real quick as well. So this is inside your StreamYard dashboard. I'm going to go back to a broadcast. Let me take your comment down, and then I'm going to click on share. Sorry, I'm going to click on Cam Mic, and I'm going to go to General, And then under record a separate audio file for each guest. If you want the separate audio, you just check this before you start your stream, and then it'll save a separate audio file. In terms of the video ones, yeah, we're working on that part. I've got it as a feature request actually. So, okay, give me 1 second. Let me see how Leticia's doing. Okay, so she's still working on her internet, so we'll bring her right back in when she comes back. Okay, give me a second to get through a couple more questions here. Joe. So Joe's saying he can't, he's trying to add his Facebook page to StreamYard. He's the admin for the page. So I'd recommend for that, Joe, I'd recommend reaching out to StreamYard.com/contact. So our support team. And if you go there, they can definitely help you with that. There could be some sort of caching issue, things like that. So they have they're fantastic at helping with that sort of thing. So I'd recommend having them help you with that one actually, because I think there's a couple other things they're going to have you try probably. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to bring in, let me see. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring on Hisham, I think Hisham's here. And then I can't really see the name here, but I'm going to bring, so Hisham, I'm going to bring on. Are you good to go? Okay, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so I'm going to bring on Hisham, and then just do me a favor. When you come on, just tell me like what's your live stream about, and tell me your channel, and I'll bring up. How you doing, Hisham?
Hi, fine. Yeah, here is very dark lah. Tonight is night here. I have one question.
Sure.
Basically, I have two.
Sure.
So first, I tell you the description of the situation. Okay, I share the screen. I share the
screen. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so he's going to share his screen. Okay, what's your channel, by the way? So I can pull that up and we can tell people about it.
It's okay. I've wait. Sorry. I have two screen. Wait. Wait. So, okay, this here share audio. All right. So I hope. So this is one of my client interview. So this is the radio channel is using the StreamYard. And so in the left side is my friend. So the problem is when you use StreamYard as interview at the site like this. This is a COVID vaccination center. So it's we need to show the background, right? So so the problem is the audio that come out from Haziq is my friend here is so slow. You get it?
Okay, so let's mute that. Yeah, do me a favor, mute that. Okay, so part of it I'm going to definitely tell you is potentially the location you're at, because their internet may not be very good. That's the first thing. I think part of it could be that like for example, hotel Wi-Fi. A lot of times it's not always very good.
The line is good, but the issue here is the audio level is low.
Right. So that sounds like it sounds like that's happening potentially because of the internet not being able to keep up.
My friend here using Galaxy Bud. So if you have, do you have any suggestion for me if we are having this kind of interview at the site like the reporter style?
Okay.
So what kind of setup? This one I use my mobile phone. Yeah.
So, well, that's the other thing. That's the other reason why your audio is going to potentially be like that is audio. Your mobile phone is like it's only so fast.
So, like you say, using the extension for audio jack, right?
Yeah. So that would allow you to have a longer like connection. What I would consider doing for something like that. So, are they just going to be doing are they going to be like almost like a reporter?
Yes, it's reporter style.
Are they going to be interviewing somebody, or are they just the only one on camera?
Yeah, it's two-way communication. This is my problem lah.
Okay.
So
So part of it's going to be this. Part of it is I'm going to strongly recommend, again, said earlier, wired headphones.
All right.
So use wired headphones on your person. And then in terms of like, and that should help with the two-way aspect. The other thing is, I realize they're trying to use a mobile device.
Yeah, because this is it's a hall. Yeah, now I'm at my working station. It's okay, but at the outside, I'm a bit stuck here. Like, I have not so much option.
Right. So I think for something like that, I mean, again, they're on a mobile device. Like you're gonna have to test. I don't know if you're gonna be able to plug into a router. Like if you could plug into a router and do it, that's great. But again, it sounds like you're on a mobile device. And so I'd recommend hardwired headphones and try to get the best possible connection you can. I think that's what's causing the slow audio is that this can't keep up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. That's what I think is happening.
Okay. And that, the second question, a very short one. Okay. So I'm sharing another screen. So I'm also a caster for like eSport, right? So we are using our custom overlay lah. So we have like overlay. Is it host? Yeah. So if you have, can you see?
Let me see. I see my screen with you right now. Yes, I see this.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So you see double, yeah.
What do you want to show? Yeah. What are you looking at?
Oh,
what's
sorry.
the question?
Okay. The question is again. Wait. So sorry. Yeah, this one. Okay, can you see this one? Yeah, I want to show this one.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let me bring that up. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm a mobile game caster. So we have two panel, right? So let's say we have two. So this is the layout so this is the overlay for two. But when we share something, and then suddenly it's become messy like this. Do you have any suggestion to solve this custom layout, or just use the built-in?
So that one's going to show like that because okay. So that the try PNG02 one that you have in the bottom left, that's going to show like that because of the view you're in. You only have two people in the window.
Yeah.
So,
yes, when you share the game screen, it's become the slideshow, right? So it's gonna mess. So when I change to the slide overlay, become the people we're gonna see. Do you have any suggestion to solve this or any tricks?
My tricks would be to potentially put up a full screen, make your switch, and then bring the other one back in.
Oh yeah, so don't need to see the. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Right. So easy. Okay, thanks.
And then the other thing also would be to keep it simple as well.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. Because when you start to mix between all these different layouts, you do have to. Because I got to say, I do a show as another show, and like it's something that I have to practice at. And every show I look at it and I'm like, okay, I missed. Like for example, this past week I missed a cue on my show, and like the screen wasn't exactly how I wanted it.
Yep.
And so it's partly practice.
All right.
So, okay.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime. Very cool. Thank you for joining us, by the way. We really appreciate it.
First time.
Anytime. Well, do us a favor. Join us. Feel free to join us anytime. Feel free to subscribe to the StreamYard YouTube channel. And we have this show. We've got tomorrow. We've got the town hall with Gage and Dan, the co-founders of StreamYard. On Monday, I think we've got another show coming back. So do us a favor. Yeah, join us. And I want to give you one last piece of advice here. And this is two actually things from NLTMW. Says short video transitions also covers that changing layout overlays.
Yo, yeah,
so
short.
NLTMW, excellent suggestion on the layout and the overlays. So that's one piece of advice. And then the other thing, NLTMW, love it. I got to say, it's funny. Leticia does this as well. They got a notepad out and you're making notes about things to work on. So the short video transition. And then he also says, if you watch the news, the remote reporters have a delay too. It's expensive to sync audio from multiple remote sources. So again, it also, like if they're in the same place, if they're in the same room, I try to have them have the same kind of setup. For example, like it could be, you know, I'm not sure like the location, but it could be the type of internet service they're using or the cellular service. Like they could be using like one company and it's not as fast as another one of the local companies, you know, things like that. And so if you have them both in the same location, or they're both, you know, like if they're in the same location and they'll have the same service, they may not have the same level of quality, because you know how most services, they're like, oh, well, we have the best service. We have, you know, 85% of the map covered. And someone else is like, oh, we only have 60, for example. So that could also factor into it. So excellent advice, by the way.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. And LTMW. Yeah, the J vlog also. Many C cam. All right. CYC cam. Okay. We'll explore it now. All right. So I leave studio.
Yes. Well, I'll if you don't have any questions, yeah.
Yeah, done.
Cool.
I think at the backstage, so many people waiting.
Okay. Awesome. No, this is good. Very good. Okay. So Leticia's still fixing her connection. Yeah, anytime, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Awesome. I got to say, I want to thank our community. I want to thank NLTMW for those great recommendations there. For like just the great ideas, because that's the other thing. Like if you run into a challenge, like that's really what we're here to do. We're here to help you overcome some of those challenges. And sometimes it's a little trick, you know, here and there to make an adjustment to get it just right for your live streams. Okay, so let me get some of these questions real quick. By the way, I did invite JVlog. We're gonna see if JVlog can come on. I'm gonna have JVlog if he wants to. If you want to fill in for Leticia right now while she's getting her internet fixed, let me know, because I saw you in here. So let's see. Man, there's so many good questions here, actually. Okay, so Zori, if you have a question about audio, by the way, she's asking in the comments. When it's on screen, that would be awesome, actually. And then for Villa, same thing. If you want to come on, and yes. And who is this? Jolene, I think it is. Let's see. Jolene Bowler. Like, thanks so much again. I got to say thank you. That means a lot, actually. I know we've had a few challenges and hiccups today. Just trying to work through them. So, okay, JP, I'm going to bring you in.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Can you help me? Can you take Leticia's place for right now?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. Not a problem, guys.
She's still got some router issues, so we'll see if she comes back on. So let's do this. Let's see. So let's go ahead and bring on, I can't see the full name. It says Blind Guy, his wife, and I can't see the rest. So I'm going to Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Okay. So we're going to bring her on. She's been waiting patiently backstage. And then I've got Mike's auto detailing. I got Fighter's voice. And then I've got Zoraima here as well. So let's start with Blind Guy, his wife, and their life. Okay. Hey there. How are you?
Here we go.
How are you all?
Fantastic. How are you doing, by the way? Thanks a lot for, I know you've joined us or tried to join us on a few other past shows, but it's good to see you finally getting to join us for this show.
This is great to be here. I hope you guys can hear me okay.
We can, yes.
Audio is good.
All right.
Background looks fantastic, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. We use StreamYard for our live show, and so I'm in the studio, so to speak. So thank you for that. And I was asking about sound because initially with StreamYard, we just kind of jumped in, and I heard you talking to the lady a while ago about earphones and everything. And we've been upgrading our microphone from our laptop when we used to sound like we were like in an echo chamber and in a trash can or something is what I would say. And now we've got some different mics. So thank you for, saying that the sound is good. And we've got a few other tricks and things that we're adding. I had a couple of questions, but then the more I watch, I'm like, wait a minute, I've got to ask about this and that. There's so much value here. Thank you.
It always happens, right, Christian?
It does, yes. Well, and I got to say, it's all because of the StreamYard community. You know, I'd love to sit here and answer every question, but everybody's like sharing so many good things, and I love it. So
I know. So I'm not going to ask questions about those things because you've already told us. I can just go back and watch it. So that's what also really helps. Like one thing I will mention is that I didn't realize that we could have more than one brand. And so I think that might, I don't know if that will necessarily answer one of my questions, but it might help when we just move forward into, adding some other things, because the brands, my first question was regarding the videos, because we have a segment on our live show called Plant-Based Treats, where I'll upload a 2-minute video into the brand section, the videos there. And right now I have so many in there. One question is there a limit to those videos? Because I'm wondering, like, will I need to delete some of them soon, or can I just keep adding until I get to like 2,000? Not that I plan on adding 2,000. But
I'm actually looking up. There is a limit, I think. JP, go ahead.
To kind of touch on what Christian was saying, when he was talking about playlists, you can segment your brand. If you're talking about smoothies, this is the layout that I want. This is the borders I want. This is the way I want it to look like. Mm-hmm. And then when you go into a different topic or a different brand, you can change the borders. You can change the layout.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So you're making it kind of unique to that brand. Mm-hmm. How many different brands you want is kind of really up to you.
Got it. Okay, great. And so I understand what you mean, because currently our show is Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. Like, that's our YouTube channel. That's what we do. That's what we bring on guests and stuff. Okay. So right now we just have that one brand. And within that show, we have a segment for the food. Whereas with those videos, because I don't know if there's a way to segment them further. Because like right now, if I have about 30 food videos in there, right, and they're all 2 minutes or less, is there a way to, segment it into, I don't know, appetizers or smoothies, like you're saying, just whatever? Or is that like, no, right now, this is where we are. Just stop being so greedy. Don't put so many there. You tell me.
Okay, so within the video clips, so you can. As JP was mentioning, you can have different brand folders. So you can use, so I'd almost look at it like this. You can use the brand folders in different ways. So you can use them for, there's no like hard and fast rule like about like how you use them. So for example, if you have 3 businesses, you could have 3 different brand folders, right? And then within that, you dump everything that's unique to those. However, in your case, if you're doing smoothies and appetizers and things like that, you could, it depends on how much you're bouncing back and forth between this, because as you add more, it makes things more complex. Yeah. And so, for example, if you're not going to be bouncing back and forth between smoothies and appetizers and things like that, then like I would recommend, like, if you're not having to do the bouncing back and forth so quickly, you could use the brand folder for that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Versus
definitely
putting everything in the video clips tab, like, as you mentioned, the more you put in there, the longer it's going to get. And so that's part of it. The other thing also is, like, and JP mentioned this earlier, so you can bring in it's called a virtual camera.
That's what I'm on right now. And
so what these tools kind of allow you to do is they do allow you to bring in additional features. So for example, if you wanted to create a playlist, I think there's a tool. Let me see if I can find it. It's called Manicam, for example. And I think he may have listed this in the comments.
With a couple of typos in there.
But it has a feature where you can actually then create a playlist of videos. So the way it would work is this. If I drew a line down the screen, I'd have my StreamYard dashboard on one side, and then I'd have a second window with, for example, Manicam, and I would have all of the videos in a playlist there. And then in StreamYard, I would select as my camera source the virtual camera, which would be Manicam. And that allows me to then bring for example, you could have all your videos in a playlist there if you wanted to. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, it does. And honestly speaking, we've been trying to keep things as simple as possible just because we're working with a blind guy who can't see and me. And that's another reason why we chose StreamYard, because it was like plug and play, super simple, and that really helped. So thank you for those solutions. We're learning as we go, and we're just building as we go. So I appreciate that. And then my last question was regarding, and I guess this is more of a feature request regarding the giveaway tool. Like, are there any plans for that to be, because we use the heck out of that thing. We do at least 2 giveaways per episode, and it's not, since it's not a part of the platform, my question is, will it ever be a part of the platform? Is it going to be added? Is that, part of the plan? Is that a thumbs up, JP, for yes, please do it?
Oh, it's going to be part of the platform. It's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of when. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that we just kind of have to be patient. But the giveaway tool is one of them. Teams is another big one that's going to be rolling out soon.
Yeah.
Teams meaning
co-hosts.
The build, like, for example, instead of having to let's see. Actually, we have a video on the YouTube channel. If you go to the StreamYard YouTube channel, there is a Teams video.
I'll check that out. Because go ahead. I'm sorry, JP.
I was going to say, as it currently stands, if Christian wants me to co-host and move things around and moderate comments and stuff like that, he has to share his email and the unique 6-digit code. Whereas with Teams, I can log in and I say, hey, I want you to co-host. And I don't have to share my email. I don't have to share that login code. I just make you the manager or assistant manager for that period of time.
Okay.
By the way, I have one other tip for you. So I made a note about putting the giveaway tool within the platform. Here's the thing. I think I know we released it because it's been a feature that, like, we would use it during the town hall and people would want it. And so we finally released it. Again, I'm sure at some point we'll probably incorporate it into the dashboard. We just haven't gotten that far yet. We've got a lot of other projects that we're working on as well. But for now, it does run separate. So it's like you open a separate tab. For example, you start the giveaway, and then you can just leave it open and let it run during your whole live stream, really. And then go back to it and decide to pull a winner. You share the screen and things like that. I did want to share another little tip, and this is actually from Adam's Exploits. So in terms of in terms of continuing to improve your live stream, you said, I think you were sort of on set, right? So
yes.
One thing he did mention was, like, your sound, it is bouncing around the room. And so I'm wondering, so if you're in like a tile room or something like that, you may want to put like a carpet down or some stuff like that, because it does help the sound, make the sound a lot more warmer and rich.
Right. We've tried a couple of things, and I'm closer to the microphone right now.
Sure.
What
kind of room is it though?
Oh, it's concrete. Like you're saying, the sound is bouncing. Yeah, because this is like a sun porch. And so the sound is definitely bouncing. It was way worse when we just had the laptop. And so now that we have the dynamic microphones, we've been, our tech help has told us, like, get right into the microphone, sort of like this. So I don't know if this helps when I'm closer, but yeah, sort of, not really.
It helps some, but the room does, the room is a big thing. And so, for example, a couple of really easy ways to, actually, and LTW is going to probably, I know what he's going to say here. So I'm going to steal his thunder, actually. And LTW, I'm not going to steal your thunder. What I would put down if I were trying to fix the sound, I'd use what Adam's Exploits is saying. Try to put down some carpets, something like that on that concrete, because it does, like, when you are speaking, it is basically hitting that and bouncing all over the room. And again, you have, it looks like glass door panels behind you as well. The other thing you can also do is you can get sound. They're like, it goes on the wall basically. And so it does help some of that sound as well. They're like, basically they're almost like styrofoam panels.
The acoustical tiles. They look like egg crate. They look like egg crate.
Yeah. So.
Okay, thanks. I'm also looking at the comments and TMW saying throw some blankets around, laundry on the floor. No, don't tell my kids that we have enough of that.
Yeah, it's here's the thing though. I mean, again, it's something so that it can absorb that sound. So it's absorbing some of it. It's not absorbing all of it, obviously. So just something to think about. That's all.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start more with the tiles on the floor. No, I know some people are saying like the foam won't help much, and it will help, but I'll need a lot of them. I'm like, okay, goodness. I'm just trying to figure out. We've been working on this thing for like about 6 months now since we realized it was a problem. You know how when you first start streaming, you just get in and you're thinking, yay, I'm just out there, I'm live. And then people start telling you, or you start listening to yourself. So we've been working on it a bit. And we'll try the blankets out of the frame. We'll try something on the floor. I appreciate your help. What were you going to say, Christian?
I was going to say, yeah, Nick Nemeth, by the way, fantastic YouTuber. He's been on he's come on and helped us a bunch as well on a few shows. So he has great advice here as well. Put 2 tall rolling clothes racks and drape them with moving blankets. Moving blankets are fantastic as well for absorbing that sound.
Right.
And then the good thing is like that way you don't have to worry about putting the foam the tiles. You don't have to, the flooring, obviously I'd try to do that, but I think that's a good suggestion, a really good suggestion actually. And again, these are like smart hacks as well. Like you put that up and like, hey, you can just move them out of the way when you need to versus having to actually design the whole room for it. And here's what that's going to do. So if you put that, for example, in front of you and you're speaking this way, the sound is going to go into that, for example, versus right now the sound is going off the wall and just bouncing all over the place. So, okay. Nick, I understand. Nick, thanks for the great advice there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. We can get access to all of those things. I've got Amazon Prime, and so maybe as soon as Monday I'll have it.
Exactly. You may even have them tomorrow, actually, in some cases. So awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your help.
Anytime. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
So I want to make sure we show her YouTube channel, by the way, as well. Again, so there is a separate StreamYard show called YouTube channel reviews, and that's done by Daniel Batal and D Nemeth, Nick Nemeth's brother. And so make sure, if you have a YouTube channel and you're wanting to get it reviewed, for example, they do that as well on that show. It's strictly YouTube. We're focused on the live streaming aspect. But I wanted to show you all Blind Guy, his wife, their life, their channel. They've got, looks like about 1,600 subscribers. If you're interested in, checking out their channel, go and check it out. Got to say, like, here's a couple of their thumbnails. It looks like they're doing some really nice things here. Again, the thumbnails look pretty nice, actually. And you can kind of see how they're doing some things. They're showing recipes, I think. Some YouTube shorts videos, things like that. So that is Blind Guy, his wife, and their life. So thanks a lot for joining us on screen. Okay, so JP, I need to catch up on the comments. I'm about 30 minutes behind on the comments, but I'm not going to go through every single one of them. I'm going to go back to about where I was at. Oh, sorry.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of chatter between the folks, which is really, really important when building a community, because you guys get to know each other. Questions get answered prior to us being able to get at them. But that's what live streaming really, really is. It's building a community as opposed to me just posting out a video and, hey, sit there and watch it.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great point, by the way. When you are doing live streaming, it gives you the ability to connect with your viewers in real time. It gives you to like the opportunity to get to know them, to learn more about what they're doing, versus if I'm just posting, native videos, they do have a purpose, but it doesn't allow you to really get to know the person as well, because then, I post a video, JP comments, JP has to wait for me to go respond. It really comes down to what the content's going to be about. Okay, so let's see. Let me just catch a couple of these real quick. So Mikkel, you were asking, I think, about earpieces, so headphones. These are the Shure SE215s. That's what I'm wearing.
These are the big cans that Christian doesn't like.
I actually used to use those. No. So these are the SE215s. They range in price from, it looks like they're about $80. I'm looking here. I mean, I paid $70 something for them, but they're about between $80 and $100. That's what I'm using. You don't need to buy $100 pair of headphones. But you know, again, all I use these for are live streaming. They don't leave my house. They don't leave my, like, I don't put them on my phone. You know, I don't use them for anything else but the show, basically. So, okay, let's go and bring on another guest. We've got quite a few people, actually. This is good. I'll keep it. Can you keep going with me until?
Oh yeah, I can keep going.
Okay, so we've got like 5 more people here backstage. So let's go ahead and let's go and bring on each person one at a time, and we'll just keep going and get through them. Okay, so let's go and bring on. I forgot. I'm actually the one doing this. So I was thinking, I was like, JP can bring them on. I was like, oh, JP can't bring them. Yeah. Okay.
Press the button.
Mike's Auto Detailing. You good to go? Okay, cool. We're gonna bring Mike's Auto Detailing. Do me a favor. Tell me who you are. I know your name. I'm assuming your name is Mike. What your live stream is about and where we can find it.
Well, so what's going on? Pretty good. So I'm Mike's Auto Detailing. That is my YouTube channel. I do live streams on the weekends with detailing companies and other YouTube auto detailers, and we just talk nothing but products and how-to stuff. The question, I actually have 2 co-hosts that do work with me every once in a while, but the question I have is I do most of my streaming on that iPad. I have an adapter where I can hook up another monitor. I got a Bluetooth keyboard that I have a mouse on there that works everything around. But the question is when I want to share something from a manufacturer's website, I cannot do this on the iPad.
Correct.
Will that ever be possible?
So I think that is a browser thing.
That's an iOS thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm stuck. Okay, so if I streamed on my Mac, which I don't like using my Mac because the quality of the video or the camera kind of is not as good as this iPad here. So on the Mac, I can use Chrome.
Okay.
On the iPad, I cannot.
Right. Safari.
So I only can use Safari. Will the iPad ever be able to support on the Chrome portion for StreamYard?
I also think that's an API thing. I think that's whenever Google decides there's something, I don't know what it is because I didn't build it. There's something that, you know, like for example, I don't think Safari, for example, on the computer I know that on the computer there's something with Safari that doesn't let it work. And then when you move to the tablet, for example, I think there's something with Chrome that doesn't let it work on an iOS device. Yeah,
to enhance on what Christian's saying is when I'm doing mobile live, I'm on iOS as well. And what I find is I can switch between tabs. I can switch between applications, but it freezes the live stream. It cuts me off. It cuts me off. So screen sharing from a Mac-based mobile, it's kind of going to be difficult at best right now. Right now, it's not a StreamYard thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Mac thing.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause if I'm on the Mac, I can share a screen. It's just when I'm on the iPad, I cannot. I just prefer the processor on the iPad's a lot faster. The quality of the video is a lot better. And plus I don't have to drag everything from upstairs downstairs. I stream in my garage because I got the backdrop and I got all my products just sitting over there. And I just kind of wish that we could have ideas to share. You know, if I have a manufacturer on, I can show their stuff on the screen.
So a couple of things how old is the Mac that you're using?
It's approximately 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, okay. 3 or 4 years old. That should actually be, I was going to say you could get yourself like this, for example, this is a PC with a tablet feature. And so like, I was going to say, hey, you could use something like this because it does then have the touch functionality, things like that. If you wanted to use that. But the fact that you mentioned your Mac is 3 to 4 years old. So this is actually what I would look at doing. I would actually consider, so for example, for your camera, so there is an app. It's called Re-Incubate Camo. I don't know if you've checked it out, but basically it's an application. It goes on your Mac, and it lets you interface with your phone, and this becomes your camera. So you could take that Mac, for example, and then you use that software, and this software will then allow this to use, for example, this iPhone, I think 12. It allows you to use all the cameras that are here. For example, allows you to zoom, all that other functionality.
Okay. And will that only work with iPhones? Because I have a Samsung.
They have an Android version, I think.
Okay.
So let me see
but
if
that,
I can actually. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but Christian, that allows you to be streaming from the Mac, slap your phone into a tripod or whatever, and just walk around and film it.
Okay.
You might have to go back to the desk to show, the manufacturer's website, or you can just say in the pinned comment below, here is, the website's manufacturer that we're looking at.
Yeah.
But that what Christian's talking about is using the phone as a webcam allows you to be mobile within the range of the streaming unit.
Yeah.
And then you could do exactly what JP's got there. So you could theoretically do this. You could start your stream like this. Like, for example, right now I have a DSLR camera in front of me, right? So if I want to get up and move around and say like, hey, let me show you something around here, for example, I'd have to remove this camera and things like that. Not easy. However, you could theoretically use, and this is a really good, lens, and and your camera on your phone, by the way, looks like it's a really good phone as well. So you would be able to put that, for example, on a mount that goes right above your screen, for example. Maybe start off on screen like this, and then as JP mentioned, then you just, you're like, hey, I want to show you guys around something around the detailing shop, for example, and this would actually allow you to get closer to things. And stuff like that if you wanted to. So this would still, and then this would allow you to go back to your computer and actually use your computer to do some of the, screen sharing and things like that you needed to do.
Got you.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
And that was my question. That's all I had.
So I'm going to share your YouTube channel, by the way, for those of you who are watching. By the way, this is Mike's auto detailing, right?
Yes.
And so just a couple of points here. So he's got 1,500 YouTube subscribers. Fantastic. Great job there, by the way. I'm not going to review like a ton of your like YouTube channel itself. I will give you a couple of tips. I try to fix this, the header here at the top. It is looking like it's a little stretched.
Yeah. So
I'd start there. And then I don't know if you noticed like some of the text on here, yellow text is hard to read.
Okay.
So, and you have a lot of text here. You almost don't really need all the text.
Okay.
Because you've got text on top of text, things like that. So that might be something, just a small fix.
Okay.
In terms of your numbers, I mean, I got to say, I like the fact that you got 200 people watching your live streams. That's very good.
Thank you.
So, keep that up. And, you might see, look, it's Daniel. So
popping in, YouTube popping in the ads there.
So those are my two co-hosts I have there, which is Papa Smurf and Rat Garage, and then I bring in, like here I had Matt, who is he makes detail brushes. Okay. So we were talking about detail brushes, but I would have liked to have had, pop up, on his website the brushes or something like that. That's what I was thinking about.
Here's another thing you could also do. Just kind of think of it like this: what if you leveraged everyone? So the one I got to say, the one other thing you have working for you is that you have help.
Yes,
you have 4 people. I'm assuming 3-4 people, right?
Yes.
And I'm actually wondering if I got to say, so the guy in the top right, I'm not sure who this is. Who is the guy in the top right?
Papa Smurf. That's Eric. Yes.
Eric. Okay. So I got to say, he seems to have the best setup.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is like lighting and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And so one thing you could also do is to make your live stream a little more and I haven't watched this, but like you can have the conversations, but there could be one of you that is responsible for like actually basically taking the camera and getting close to things.
Okay.
For example, if that's kind of how you're doing things. And so does that make sense?
Yes. So when you're talking about that team thing that might be coming up. So if I know Eric, he uses a laptop to stream. Yeah. So if I had him as when your team thing comes out, would he be able to drop up a share screen?
Oh yeah, he can do that now actually.
Oh, can he? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So a couple of things. So the guy that was just on before you, Hisham.
Yes.
For example, he was sharing his screen, and then I, as the producer, bring it in.
Got you.
So what I'm looking at here, what I'm thinking is have, for example, like responsibilities. Like, for example, Eric could be your host. You know, he's in it looks like, I'm assuming he's in an office there versus being.
He's in the garage also. Right? He's in the garage.
Okay. So if you have somebody who is like stable, like for example, and they're in the office, they could be the ones controlling the streams, things like that. They could be the intro, and then their job is to bring in various people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so then that way they're actually the one running the show that you all talk about. And then you could use each person with, like, for example, like JP and I could be talking right now, and I could be like, hey, JP, you know, for example, I could have him continue talking about something, and then I could be like, hey, JP, I need to get up and go get something, for example. And then I can come back with like, hey, I've got this item, for example, that I wanted to talk about or show people on screen. Or I could then be in a position with the camera looking at something. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And Christian touched upon this, is when we switch the cameras between people, when we focus in and focus out, stuff like that, that is a great transition point. When you're going from talking point to talking point and we make that transition, it makes it look a lot smoother and less jarring than just changing the topic.
Yeah.
By the way, I got a couple other tips for you. These are directly from Nick. He's saying for your YouTube channel, for example, he's saying try going all image without text.
Okay. And I've been following Nick for ever since I was at 200 subscribers. I've been following him, letting him like basically mentor me.
You gotta say it's clearly working because you've got quite a number of viewers and you're doing a really good job. So
thanks.
He's also saying focus on the imagery for your thumbnails. Don't fill them with the red bar and text. Yeah.
Got it.
So so that is actually a test. I don't know if you've used like so for example, you can use like some A/B. There's some tools where you can do A/B split testing on your YouTube channel. Like you could check out like a TubeBuddy or something like that.
I have TubeBuddy.
And so there's an A/B split testing feature in there.
Okay.
So every time, when you put up your like live stream, you put your thumbnail on. There's a test to run. Use one with that red and yellow text, even though we probably know the answer. Use that and make a second one with what Nick's saying. Focus on the image, and use the A/B split testing feature and let it run till it's statistically, like it's definitely this one.
Yeah.
And see what it recommends. I think you're gonna figure out what the answer is.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been fantastic.
Thank you for your help.
If you have any other questions, just let us know.
That's it.
Cool.
I appreciate it. My audio and everything sounds good though when I talk. So I do have a Yeti or a Blue Yeti. That's what I use. I actually got me a little $10 headset. That's all I have, and they're wired straight into the Yeti, and I don't even take it off.
I think it sounds good. The one thing with the Yeti, a lot of people do this. Make sure it's facing the right way.
Yeah.
A lot of people flip it the wrong way, and then also just make sure you pick the right dial on it.
Yeah.
Because it does pick up a lot of noise usually.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, I understand.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And by the way, another little tip for you: if you are moving around quite a bit, I'm not going to tell you to get like new microphones. But if you are going to be moving around your office quite a bit, you could also check out something like this. This is the Rode Wireless Go.
Oh yes.
And basically these are wireless. I'd recommend if you're going to plug these into a laptop, you have to get the Wireless Go 2. And basically one of them, clips on, and then the other one plugs into the laptop, for example, as the transmitter and the receiver.
Yes.
So
if
you're moving around,
I think either Nick or Brian G. Johnson has talked about those, and I've actually looked into them before.
Okay, Mike, I do have a question for you, Mike.
Yes,
I do have a question. When the four of you are on screen at the same time during a live show, are you all in the same room at the same time?
Oh no.
Okay, so one's over there, one's over there, one's over there.
Yeah, like I have two co-hosts. One lives in Canada, What one? I'm in Northern California, and Eric, who was on the top right in there, he also lives in Northern California. And then the actual guest, which was Matt, he's actually was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. So then StreamYard is kind of like the perfect marriage for you.
Yeah. So what I do is like off of Instagram, we get into a group chat, and then once we get the live stream set, I put the invite in there so everybody gets it. They click on it, and then basically we all join in through that way.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. By the way, if you're not part of the Facebook group, I got to tell you, we'd love to have you. And
I think I am in there. I believe. I think I am in there. I just kind of read comments, and that's about all I usually do.
Okay. By the way, feel free to send me a PM DM. DM, same thing. Yeah. Yeah. So send me a DM and just send me a link to your channel again, so we can just check it out and whatnot. So
appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Yep. Have a good one.
Keep up the good work. By the way, you're doing awesome with your show.
Thanks. It's because of Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Very cool. That was awesome. Actually, I gotta say, he's got so much help, like to be able to like run that production. I mean, I'm thinking of so many ideas that he could do. I mean, for detailing, like, you could have, he essentially has a roving reporter who could go, and say, hey, you know what, we're going to have, like, if somebody's in their shop and they have somebody already doing some detailing, they could have one person on camera talking about what's happening and actually show like the stuff that's actually happening live as they're detailing a vehicle. I mean, really cool stuff. So
yeah, he's got a mini team working for him. So
yeah,
it's any one of those people can just kind of step in at any given point and take the load off, take the pressure off the other people.
Definitely. So I want to just answer a couple of comments real quick here. So Ruby's asking how much the Rode Wireless Goes. How much do these cost? So the Rode Wireless Go 2, I think it's $300.
Yeah,
for the set.
$350 here,
and it comes with 2 mics and a receiver, so it can actually be plugged into a laptop. The Wireless Go 2, you have to get the Wireless Go 2 if you want to plug it into a laptop. The Wireless Go 1, which is what I was showing you guys, that doesn't actually work with a laptop. So you have to get the Wireless Go 2. You plug one in, the receiver into the computer, and then you can wear one. Or if you have 2 people in the same location, each person has their own channel. Very cool. Okay, so let's bring on another person. Let's bring on Fighter's Voice. You good? Fighter, thumbs up. Fighter's Voice. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna bring on the Fighter's Voice. Actually, I think we've had you on before.
Yeah.
So how are we doing?
Let me back up just a little bit here. I'm actually doing, I just had to have my knee fused, so I'm not in my studio at the time. I apologize for the background. As you see the crutches.
I was going to say, yeah, you're okay.
I have a couple questions, but first I'd like to make a statement. A lot of people, I've seen some actual critique on StreamYard, but, you and I both know from the beginning that your show is only as good as your guest, as their feed, their quality, their reception. I made the mistake in the beginning because I do my show out of a Clear Channel studio, but I've had to do it on occasion like this at home. And so I went and I bought Wi-Fi boosters, all kinds of stuff. I spent $3,000-$4,000 to try to make sure that my show, because I came from the syndicated side, try to make sure that my show was as good as it could be. The problem is your show is only as good as your guest and their connection. So most people need to realize that. Those are things that you have to put into the show. And at first it used to really upset me because I'm a perfectionist and I like to do a great show, but a lot of my guests and a lot of my fans that listen say some of my shows with technical difficulties are their favorite shows, which is kind of awkward. But I have a question for JP. JP, since I do my show out of a Clear Channel studio, and is there any way to download the version of the show or create an application to put into an RSS feed?
Yes, technically there is. You can RSS pretty much anything off YouTube. There are bots that will do that for you. I have on my Discord, I have a bot that pulls my feed and pulls the news feeds that I'm interested in, and they pull it directly from YouTube.
Okay. Now, see, I don't mean to cut you off. But the problem that I had was me and Christian, and this is how me and Christian met. When I first initially came to StreamYard, because I have a professional setup, it wasn't allowing me to go to YouTube. I followed Christian's instructions. Ultimately, I ended up having to delete my YouTube and restart another page. And now it still doesn't let me utilize YouTube. It still says that I cannot transition to the show to YouTube. Is there an alternative method that I can use? Since I deleted my YouTube channel, I lost almost 10,000 followers, and I'm having to start from scratch. Is there another ultimate way? Because when I try to, when you create the show and you push the destinations, what it's telling me is I'm still not allowed to go to YouTube.
Okay. Now you want to push the live feed to YouTube.
Yes, sir. That's what I do.
Okay. I'm kind of at a loss here because the only time I haven't lost a channel, I got smacked by Google once and I had to shut things down, but I've never actually lost a channel and had to start again because live, Nick over there would probably know better than me.
No,
you have to have
I personally took down my YouTube channel because it wasn't allowing me to stream to YouTube, and so I created a whole new YouTube channel.
Right,
and it's
that's dependent. That's dependent on the number of followers and stuff like that before you can allow that live.
Yeah, I got that point. I mean, I don't have a problem, even on my personal page on Facebook, because I'm old school. I don't have Twitch. I don't use all those other platforms. Even on my personal page on Facebook, I have 10,000 people, and all my pages together, I have well over 1 million. I've been in syndicated radio for 17 years with iHeart, Univision, utilized 26 other platforms. I'm in dual syndication out of the Philippines also, and I have 5 RSS feeds from Brazil to Nepal to Africa, and you name it. But the thing that I'm having the most issues with is what I would like to do, like I said, is create the RSS feed to simultaneously broadcast onto my syndicated show. Is there a possibility or way to do that other than going through YouTube?
Technically speaking, yes. It's called stream sniping.
Stream sniping.
It's called stream sniping. You're going to have a tab open for your recording, and then, which is you're streaming. So let's say you're streaming to Facebook. Okay. And then you're going to do a recording, and you're going to push that to YouTube.
Okay.
Right. So it's called stream sniping. It's a dirty trick. You would have to Google how to do it efficiently. Yeah. We do it on Twitch. It's a really, really dirty trick, and I don't really advise anybody to do it.
Yeah. So
I got a buddy that can do that for me. So I got a couple more questions, and I know your time is valuable. One of the major issues that I'm having. Okay, now I set multiple destinations, my professional page on Facebook and my personal page and another professional page on Facebook. When is StreamYard going to allow the likes from all 3 destinations to show up on all 3 different platforms? Because what's happening if I'm having to utilize my personal page, which I really don't want to do. Like I interviewed Matt Hughes, one of the greatest legends in the UFC, because I'm a UFC and Bellator photographer, and I started journalism after probably maybe 10 years as a photographer. I started doing this. I did a show with Chris Matthews from Dateline. I was also with ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. And one of the problems that I'm having is I'm having to utilize my page because my business pages aren't getting nowhere near the likes as my personal page, and they don't correlate together. So let's say like the Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire might get 20 likes. Mm-hmm. I'm still seeing the comments though, even though I'm utilizing my personal page. You see all the comments together. When are they going to correlate the views into one package?
What do you mean by that? Like, I guess
like on the Fighter's Voice, if I was to go to the Fighter's Voice right now on Facebook, it'll show on the last show that I did with Kung Lee, it'll show 15 to 20 likes. But if I go to my interview with Kung Lee on my personal page, which I shared from Destination, it'll show, you know, like let's say the Matt Hughes show, it shows 5,000 views, 294 likes or reactions. But if I go to the Fighter's Voice with Matt Hughes, I only got like 35 likes, but you still see the comments. When are they going to correlate the likes into one solid aspect?
So I don't think that would ever happen, because it's like, so you have to look at like this, every destination is going to be unique. And so part of the reason why so like, I realize you're using your profile and you don't want to necessarily do that. The reason that is actually like, you're seeing a larger number of people watch it on your profile as opposed to your page, is that's a Facebook thing, like 100% of Facebook things. So Facebook basically diminishes reach to pages. And so here's the thing. For your profile, you're not paying. I mean, you're paying because you're giving data and things like that to Facebook, but profiles tend to get more views. However, from a page side, a page is ideally for a business, you know, or something where people are generating revenue, things like that. And so Facebook has very hard rules about, you know, using your profile for business and using it for business purposes. They want you to use pages, things like that. So their system is sort of designed like that. Now, in terms of like why, okay, so then you're getting a small number there and then you're getting a larger number on your profile. And that's because Facebook wants you to advertise. That's really what it boils down to. So they want you to advertise. And so basically what's happening is your profile is, you know, it's acting like it normally would, versus the page. They're reducing the organic reach of your page content. So when you stream your page and you may get 15 people or 5 people and things like that, it's because most of the time people aren't seeing the page content.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's why that's happening. And it's a Facebook thing, you know.
All right. Let me ask you one more quick question. I know you gentlemen are very, very busy and you got a lot of people behind me.
Let me give you one last piece of advice though on that too. So the thing you could do is, if you want to get more of those people watching on your Facebook page, what you can do is you can schedule your StreamYard broadcast to your Facebook page. Okay. And then that'll push it out to your Facebook page. And then you do have to go over to Facebook and do this. Go to your Facebook page, go to that post on your Facebook page and use the share function and share it back to your profile. That's the better tactic to take than streaming it to the profile and the page, for example, because you essentially might be streaming business content directly to the profile. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. One more question. Now, Facebook is going to modernization, and is StreamYard going to be affected by that? Because we've all got notifications that they're going to be utilizing and putting commercials into our videos and this type of content. Is that going to affect StreamYard in any way, aspect, or means?
I don't know, actually, because I haven't heard they were going to put ads into content like that, but
yeah,
I know that, like, I mean, it's not any different than like a YouTube video, for example. YouTube has a feature where, you know, right now, if you're not, for example, part of their monetization program or their partner program, like people can advertise, run ads on your videos basically. And then you, as the channel, don't really get the ability to control that. On the flip side of that, if you're part of their monetization program, then they allow you to control that sort of thing. So
yeah, and to elaborate on Christian comment, when it comes to the monetization, and when we're doing a live stream here, the live stream isn't going to be broken by an ad. If you on the client side hit the refresh button or whatever, you might get a little ad that popped up. It happens. It happens. That's just the way it is, because the person has been monetized. But as far as the live stream goes, you're not going to get hit with an ad while it's live.
Okay.
They're not going to break the live stream to toss in an ad. They'll do that after it's been processed.
Okay. You know, I appreciate you guys because, like I said, I've been 17 years on the radio side. I used other platforms. I didn't like them. I found StreamYard. I kind of fell in love with it. You know, the thing about it is it's great because everybody wants to put a face with a voice, and radio is on its way out. You know, I hate to say it, you know, after 17 years in radio, you know, and I was getting 1.3 to 2.5 million listeners on the syndicated side. And so it's been kind of hard for me to jump to the video aspect. I find myself still wanting to I do reruns and things like that, and I do a show from time to time on the syndicated side to keep it going. But it's kind of hurt me because you know, you go from 1.3 on an average, 1.3 million, and then you turn around and you're getting 5,000-10,000 views on a social media platform. It kind of changes your ways, but I'm old school, but I'm learning to get to it. But Christian, if you could explain to me one more time, because like today, Kung Lee hit me up. He said, you know, I would like a link, a shareable link for the show that we just did. And I didn't know there was another aspect because, like I said, I'm old school. I'm not too familiar with your dashboard. I've tried to, but so I just went to the option that said, hey, there's no bells and whistles to my show, because if I can't bring it to you live, then I'm not going to bring it to you at all. But I need to find. Can you run through? I'll jump off here, and then can you run through and show us again how to find that separate link to share, not the one that brings them into the studio, but to share the finished product.
Sure. And right before I do that, I just want to highlight just a couple of comments, by the way. So Freedom Patriot Network said, so like for your YouTube thing, you know, you do need to set up the live on the YouTube side. So if your channel doesn't, like if it doesn't have the live enabled, you can go to your YouTube channel, click your icon in the top right corner, and go to YouTube Studio, and there should be an option to set up the live stream aspect there. And it does take between 24 and 48 hours to get that started if you don't have that.
Yeah, I did that. I did that from our initial talk, and it kept telling me, I kept getting that wrench thing and all that other stuff saying I couldn't do it. It doesn't bother me to lose 10,000 followers because I know I can gain them right back, because I've been in radio so long. I don't really do my show for a like or a follow anyway. I do it for my guests. As long as my guest walks away satisfied, then I'm satisfied, you know, and you got to go into a show thinking that. You can't go and go, well, God, if I don't get 10,000 likes or reactions to a show, then I'm failing, you know, because I've never been about that. The sport is going to go, it's going to fluctuate up and down what you're going to get per guest anyway, especially in my field. Now, when I do a music show, that's different because not everybody loves sports, but everybody loves music. Now, when I bring on like Bone Thugs and Harmony or the Lunatics or something like that, I'm pulling 20 to 25,000 viewers, you know, onto a show. And that's because everybody likes music, you know, but I just want to thank StreamYard because I've tried multiple platforms, and by far yours is the easiest for somebody like me. I'm 57 years old, and it's kind of hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but these little forums that you guys do are tremendous. And I'm like JP, I love the headset because oh yeah, I love it, bro, man. Christian could be the new era, but us old school dude.
No, I use those. I have a pair of those. I use them. I just don't use them for streaming.
I do have a question for Dawn. I have a question for Dawn. When you're doing your live streams, you mentioned that people want to see a face to the name and to the voice.
Yes.
Now, is your live stream visually critical?
No.
Okay. So StreamYard does have the option to download the live stream. And you said you lost 10,000 followers. Okay, I understand that. Your background is radio. Okay, I understand that. Why not have a backup? You can do this. Anybody in the chat can do this. If it's not visually, if you don't have to see it, slap it on Spotify. Put a little bit of money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Or do a combination of things, actually. You could do essentially what's called vodcasting, video casting, basically where you also could be doing it like we're doing now. You could do the visual aspect. This could go up to your YouTube channel. It could be streamed there, your Facebook page, and so forth. And then you could take the audio afterwards and make it a podcast if you wanted to as well. Because that could also be another way. Because I guarantee you, if you start something, I mean, I got to say, The Fighter's Voice is a great, you know, I like the name. And that would be like something that I think you could easily start a podcast and say The Fighter's Voice, for example, and then you could leverage all those people that you have tuning in. I guarantee you're going to be able to pull in people that are either wanting to listen to it or want to watch your stream. So
yeah, well, see, that's what when I changed. I used to be MMA Destruction, and when I did change it to The Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire, I watched this. I went from like 150,000 on radio to 450,000 to 710,000. Then next thing I know, I hit 1 million, and I was like, holy crap, you know. But people need to also realize that, you know, I do my syndicated show from Clear Channel. It's not like I'm doing it from a home studio. So, I mean, I got all the best equipment in the world, but like situations like where I'm at now on the crutches after getting my knee fused, I'm not able to make it to the studio. So, but I will work on getting, I'll send a DM to you again, Christian. We'll try to get this YouTube thing figured out. But I want people to realize that without you guys, man, we would all be lost. What you guys give to us, there's not another company out there that is willing to not only stand by their product, but to come on the air and show you how to utilize their product. And that's it. That's what's going to make me a StreamYard customer for life, because people like you that care so much about the product that you're putting out there is going to create and invoke a larger and create a mass of people that are going to start utilizing this, because you don't see Zoom doing it. You don't see other platforms doing it. You guys stand behind the product that you created, and you're answering each and every question that all of your users have. You know, I got to tell you, that's the best customer service that you can get for your money. I mean, especially when you're only paying $50 a month, and you know, I can come on here each and every time you guys are live and get every question I want answered. And then you got great guests or great people watching the show that have answers that you guys may not have answered. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're creating a great big community of love, a great big community of knowledge. And man, kudos to you guys and kudos to StreamYard, because this takes your time, and I don't want to take any more of your time, but you guys are tremendous.
I do want to show you one thing though. I want to show you you had that question for me, and you asked about how do you go about getting the guest link, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I am inside the StreamYard dashboard. So I'm going to use okay, so you know how to get the guest link, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you want to get the public link that you would either, you know, this would be the public link that you would share with somebody on an email list, for example, or, you know, you could even just copy this link and just put it on a tweet or a social media platform, anywhere else you want to share this, for example. So this is our current show. As you can see, we're live right here. So I can get the links just by going to the 3 dots off to the right. And then these are the destinations that we're currently streaming to: the YouTube channel, LinkedIn, the Facebook group, and the Facebook page. And so if I just want to grab that link, for example, I'm just going to click that. It's going to take me off to, for example, the Facebook page. And all I have to do is copy the link that's there. That's literally all I have to do.
Oh, that's easy peasy. I appreciate that. You know, and one more thing, I would like to see more episodes with JP on it, man. JP, you rock, dude. I mean,
thank you.
You're a little bit old school like me, man, and I really appreciate it. You know, you guys have a tremendous day, and thank you. And thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. Awesome.
All right, cool. God bless you guys, man. Peace.
Thanks. See you, Don.
Okay.
I gotta say, I mean, I think Don's got a lot of potential with all of the content, the topic, you know, whether he's live streaming it and making it a podcast. I mean, just lots and lots and lots of potential there, I think. For him.
I agree. I don't disagree. There is a lot to unpackage with that channel.
Yeah. That's awesome. By the way, I got to also highlight this one real quick. Checking convictions. I had a review about 3 months ago from you all, and changed everything you said. I love it now. And although I haven't grown much, hadn't done much, everyone has loved it. So again, let's keep working at what we're doing. Okay, so we made a couple of changes. The growth was like a little slower. Okay, so what I would say for something like that, by the way, congrats on, you know, again, being willing to make some adjustments here and there. Then we need to look at, okay, we've identified what that next challenge is. The next challenge is, okay, how do I get more people to come on my live stream, or to view my live stream? And then that's where we want to look at, what are the things you're doing to promote your show? Whether it's, you know, do you have an email list, for example? Are there other ways that you can syndicate that show? So for example, you could be streaming it out, or you turning it into a podcast. That podcast could then be a driver back to the video. Are there people, you know, are you running a blog, anything like that? So checking convictions, do me a favor. If you have any other questions, just again, send me a private message, join us in the Facebook group. we want to make sure we help you with that. John Poland, by the way, is in the house. Thanks, John. What did you miss? Let's see. JP, do you want to give him a
short list?
So we did get, Julian said like he missed everything, but is there anything else that you would you tell John what else he missed?
We talking about syndications, podcasts. We talked about audio. We've already done that several times, almost ad nauseum. Microphones, headphones. Some of the unique things were about. I would say my takeaway from this would be exploring your options, and that's like we talked about video. Is it video centric? Is it absolutely critical? Take the recording, put it on a podcast, right? Your options are there, and it's all done through StreamYard. It's all done through StreamYard. You can download it. You can download your past recordings.
Definitely. Okay. So we've got we got 3 more people actually we're going to bring on. You got a little bit more time, JP?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. 3 people. We're going to do a giveaway. I'm going to show you a neat little trick, by the way, and I can't take credit for this. I gotta thank NLTMW for showing me this one actually. So let's go ahead and bring on. I think Zori. Zori, you ready? Okay. So we're going to bring on Zori. Tell us a little bit about your live stream and then what challenge you have, what you want some help with. Zori, thanks a lot for joining us.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good.
I like the background and the setup. Looks good.
Oh, thank you. So my challenge is I cannot get for the life of me a good audio, it feels like.
Okay.
I have the lapel and I use this for most of my broadcasts, and I put them on a wide cable here.
Okay.
And I also have the big headset. It just sounds so far away. Right now I've used the computer speakers, and right now I'm using my webcam mic.
Okay.
The problem is with this studio, like this type of studio set type of thing, when I'm doing, because my channel is more about entertainment, gossip, and a little bit about everything, karaoke night, whatever, while I'm doing my makeup. So it gets pretty hot in here. I have to move around. And then I turn on the fan, and then sometimes the fan receives the noise, the background noise.
Uh-huh.
My question on that sense is which mic will be a noise canceling mic that I could use for that, because sometimes I have to get up close to the camera. I'm out. I just started my channel. Okay. So what has been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I started. Okay. And of course I want to be able to have the right equipment to do so, okay, but not without, of course, right at this moment, spending an arm and a leg on it.
Okay. Yep.
Until of course I start monetizing, then we can start building up to that. That's one question. The second is, what is it?
I love all the note taking, by the way.
Or a plans in the future to have the comments, let's say, click on the comments and start running through? Because like I said, I'm right now I'm doing everything on my own, so it gets a little hectic. Well, I'm trying to show sometimes video from, let's say, celebrities or stuff that is happening now. So I'm building everything through Canvas, uploading it as a video. And I click on that, which is fine. That helps me to keep doing what I'm doing when it comes down to the makeup. And then trying to read some comments along the way. And it just everything at once. And I try to use my audio to try to hear if I hear those noises, but it's too late sometimes when I hear the clicking noises or the fan noise, and it drives me nuts. I don't know how to fix it.
Okay, so JP, I'm going to, first off, Zori, let me make sure I got the right channel. Do I have the right, is this the right channel? It's this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got to say this. I haven't watched any of your videos, but I got to say there's a few things that I really like here. I like your, the top header, by the way, but I love the channel art you're using. I think the channel art is really good.
Thank you.
You know, and actually it's nice. You're getting like 50, 60, people tuning into your streams, 100 something, for example. I think
that's really excellent. Those numbers are excellent.
Yeah.
Considering the number of subscribers that you have, those numbers are great.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so JP, I'm going to turn it over to you. I have a feeling I know what this issue is, but JP, I'm going to let you take it first.
Okay. Well, which would you like me to try and tackle? Is it the microphone?
The microphone. I believe it's the microphone because I have like I said, I have a fan. I tried 3 different fans and all of them pick up the noise, the white noise on the mics. Every mic I've used. So I have no idea what to do here.
So
okay. I was going to say, with the microphone, and you've got the lapel mic, are you facing it in the right direction?
I've tried it on every way possible. I tried it down here. I tried it here. I tried it here.
No. The correct direction.
I have no idea.
The correct direction. Or you can put it under the shirt.
Would not that make too much noise if I'm getting close?
It shouldn't.
So, well, I think the first question I would ask, what is the model of that microphone? And the reason I ask, so here's the thing I'm thinking, JP. I'm actually wondering if it's the right polarity on the microphone.
Yeah, the cables.
Here's the thing. The microphones, and let me see if I have a pair of headphones, actually. Let's see. So microphones have, it's called TRRS, tip, ring, sleeve, and so forth. Okay. So one thing that can happen is if you have the wrong one, there's two little rings on it. There's 3 rings, etc. If you have the wrong one, it may not be picking. It's not making the right. It potentially is not making the right connection. That's the first thing. So it could not. It may not be. Yeah. Put your hand behind that, JP.
So this is a TRS connection.
Yeah.
So tip, ring, sleeve. Tip, ring, sleeve.
So that's
you got
okay. So you
that's TRRS. That's a 3.
Tip, ring, sleeve. Yeah.
That's a 3.
So then where are you plugging this into?
Right. So when I have, let's say when I have a guest, I plug it into this device with my headset.
Okay. So let's start now. What is that one? Yes, that is TRRS. Okay. So that's correct. Okay.
Into my Mac Chromebook.
Or Chromebook, right?
Sorry, a Mac ProBook.
Okay, your MacBook Pro. Okay. So you're plugging into your Mac. Okay, great. So that should, so if you take that adapter and the other pair of pink headphones, I think that was, if you take that out of the equation, you just plug the lavalier mic in, how does it sound?
I think it sounds better. One of my videos sounded better, but then because it's Mac, I can't hear anything the other person is saying when I have a guest.
Okay, so then you basically have that. Yeah. So
if I'm doing it this is like a one-man show type of thing. So it's me for the most part. But if I have a guest, I can't hear anything. I can't hear any noise. Let's say if I play a video on StreamYard,
right? Because
I can't hear anything.
Right.
It cancels the noise.
Exactly. So I'm thinking of a couple things. I'm thinking, JP, feel free to.
Okay. See, I'm thinking this is the connection you want for the microphone.
Okay.
Okay. That's the connection you want for the microphone. Now, when you're combining microphone and headphone, that's where you're going to get the 3.
I see.
You're going to get the TRRS.
I see.
But for a microphone, this is it. Now, I want to go back to my comments about the clip and the mic, because you can have the mic. I don't have the clip on this one. You can have the mic facing one way and just changing it, just adjusting it to the other direction can give you a totally different outcome. Try playing with it.
Okay. I do feel like I know Chris quite a bit because I've done so many tutorials to get started before even opening something. I did have issues because StreamYard did not recognize my YouTube channel, and it went through 2 weeks of delays and accepting and all the other jazz. But once it just comes in, it's very self-explanatory. It's like when you first go from Android to iPhone, it's like super easy to figure things out, very easy. But I do have that issue with the mic. I try back and forth and so many, and I was like, I can't spend any more money. I just try to figure out one, and hopefully that will be it.
So I'm going to thank, again, this is all about community here. So I want to thank Dimeback Darren Lowe here. He joins us all the time. So he did make a recommendation here, and there's a few recommendations from the community. So one of those is to check out Headset Buddy. And so Headset Buddy, it's a website. I'm going to pull that up for you right now. So this is Headset Buddy, and we got a couple of comments here actually. So let's take Joel's comment first. Joel says, for her to hear her guest, a regular phone headphones would help. So probably something that is kind of like what I have here, which is just got the headphones and the mic all built into one. However, because you're plugging this into a computer, okay. Mm-hmm. So I think part of it is the splitter the right kind of splitter? Mm-hmm. So you've got a splitter there, and here's what I'm thinking you might have going on. Okay, so you have a splitter, and that may be a headphone splitter.
Okay. It has both, according to this thing.
Here, one second. Let me see. So it's got so it's saying it does the mic and a headphone. Okay,
that's what it says.
Okay, so it's saying it does. Okay,
yeah.
So again. You probably got that off Amazon, quality of Amazon stuff.
Sometimes, I sure did.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's hit or miss. First thing I would say is look through the questions on that Amazon product. Uh-huh. So like there's a question section, look through the questions and see if people have said, hey, there's been issues or things like that. Because there very well may be like, oh, they just mislabeled it or something like that. But I would look at the Headset Buddy place. And I would look at this, and this is actually what I would do. Because I've bought adapters like these kinds of things before. So they have, for example, let me see if I can find it. They have a PC to smartphone, PC headset to smartphone / iPhone adapter, for example. Dual 3.5 millimeter, single 3.5 millimeter. Okay. Oh. So that's because, as you can see, this has headphone and microphone. But it's saying PC headset to smartphone / iPhone adapter. Versus if you go to the other one that's also right here, you have, for example, this one. This is a PC computer headset to 2.5 millimeter phone adapter. And as you can see there, that's the headphone adapter and the microphone. Okay.
I see.
So my recommendation off this, and I love the recommendation from Dimeback Darren here is, and also, by the way, his Sham is saying it could be the splitter potentially. I would suggest contact Headset Buddy on that and say like, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. Okay. And they probably have the adapters, the specific adapter that they know about to do that. Because it's about like, it's not just like, oh, they fit the plug, for example. It's making sure that, the tip ring sleeve, all that sort of stuff works together and that they're the right kinds of devices. So for example, that lavalier could very well just be, for example, there's ones that just work for a smartphone. Things like that.
Exactly.
Wow.
Contact a manufacturer, because I'll tell you with 200% transparency, this guy has cost me about $300 in microphones.
I believe it. Little by little, keeps adding up.
I get the microphone and I get the adapter and it doesn't work, and then I'm going, is it the adapter? Is it the microphone? Well, let's change both. And then we got to start playing Lego, and we're putting them all together and seeing which ones work, which ones don't work. Now, for Zori, I have a question for you. You said you can't hear the audience. You were working off a MacBook Pro.
Correct.
Do you have a secondary unit?
No, sir.
No phone?
Well, I do have a phone. I do try to play on. So this is the other thing. So I try to put it as a background just in case, for whatever reason, sometimes StreamYard does with the computer, kicks you out. and I don't want to be completely out of the live.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a secondary phone, which put myself on the back studio, and just in case I'm right there, correct? So then from there, but I cannot lower all the volume all the way down on my phone for some reason, and then it creates the bounce echo. Doesn't matter where I put the phone.
It creates that loop. It creates that loop.
Yes.
What about attaching the earphone to the phone while streaming through the Mac?
I've done that as well. So I've done the phone on the side. I've done an iPad on like far away and trying to get that. It just sometimes I get that busy noise. It sounds like a busy noise. That's why I don't know if it was. I thought it was. I did a lot of trial and error this past. I mean, like I said, I just started, so it's this past couple of weeks, putting the phone right here on the side, live streaming it. Sometimes I try not to put it close to another speaker. The headphones, I try to put them just enough so I can kind of hear, and I keep putting it on just so I hear. That way, I know when I go back live with our broadcast. Then I put it down. But it's sometimes I can still hear the bounce back, even if I lower the volume all the way down. I can hear the bounce back of the music on my videos after I'm done with my live broadcast. It's been a mystery to me. I've tried, I think, a little bit of everything.
So a couple of pieces of advice that I would offer on this is, so to kind of like, I'd say go back to square one in a way. So I think that part of the reason I'd say go back to square one is, okay, because it sounds like it's awkward for you to be trying to listen to this and speaking to the mic and things like that.
And trying to do the makeup and looking at comments and everything else.
Do you just have a pair of headphones that you could, like a standard pair of headphones that have a mic that you can plug into your laptop?
I do.
Okay.
They have their built-in mic.
Okay. I would say to start, I'd say go back and use that first, because if the other one is obviously not exactly working how we want it to.
This one's also here. You can hear me pretty far away with the headphones. So let me try it out.
Yeah, sure. Basically what we need is,
So I feel like you can hear me pretty far away when I put them on.
Blow into the microphone.
And I can't hear you.
Okay.
At all.
So go into so when you plug those in, can you hear me?
No, I had to take them off. I can't hear you.
Okay. So the other thing also I would tell you, so you say you're on a Mac, right?
Correct.
So have you gone on your Mac, if you go to the Apple logo and go to System Preferences, have you gone to the sound settings there when you plug those in to see what is actually being picked up by the Mac? Because
of course I didn't.
Okay. It's going to sound silly, but change the... So on the Mac...
okay. So.
And Griffo, by the way, I want to tell Griffo real quick. Griffo is making some good comments here. But okay, so the first thing would be, let's go on your Mac, plug the headphones in, go to the Apple logo, click on System Preferences, look for sound, and there's an input and an output setup. Input obviously is the mic, output's going to be the speaker, things like that. If you're using one pair of headphones, you want to make sure that it's the same one.
Okay, be careful because she's already got it set to whatever StreamYard has. If she changes it right now,
we'll see. We'll see how it sounds.
She'll have to reset StreamYard.
Hold on, I can't tell if she's
okay. So not yet. So I'm doing the system preferences, and then you say
sound. So Apple logo, system preferences, sound, and then
the Apple logo. Well, no, that's for a picture. Where is it? Okay.
Did you
Apple
find
logo, and then
the sound, system preferences.
Oh.
And then you should see a sound option.
Uh-huh.
and then see what comes up there for you.
Okay, let me plug it in.
And I'll pull up my system preferences as well. So it's going to look something like this, basically. So you're going to have input, you're going to have output.
Okay, test.
So you're going to have, like, as you can see, my audio meter is going up and down. So there's my input, there's my output. For example, my input and my output are the same thing.
I'm going to have to put you on the other one so I can hear you.
Sure.
Output.
And by the way, Griffo,
It's
if you're
the headphone, it says headphone port, LCD. Oh, hang on.
And Griffo, by the way, if you do want to come on screen with us, let me know if you want to help us out.
Here it just says that is on input is just says internal mic and my webcam. That's all there is available. There's no.
And that's if the headphones are plugged in, right?
There's nothing available. Nothing else in there.
So the one that you did mention there, which one is selected?
The output does provide it says the AirPlay. Right now, on the output, the headphones port.
Okay, that's what we want. That's what we're looking for. So mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
But I can't hear anything through this.
So do you have do you have another pair of headphones? Not saying, right now, but like, do you have another pair of headphones at all? Because it's
something that actually has worked in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I have these massive ones. I'll try them.
Okay, try the cans. That sounded like Bluetooth.
Yeah, so those are Bluetooth. They probably have a cable, but yeah.
Mic check, mic check.
See,
mic.
Let me see.
So we can hear her. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me there?
Yes.
The microphone is working. Are your headsets
No,
working?
I can't hear anything. I have no idea what it is. And it's selected this headset and on input and output.
And then inside of StreamYard, what do you have selected? Under cam mic. Because you may have a different speaker or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. Because now I lost audio for some reason on the phone as well.
Okay. Okay, you're muted. You're muted.
You're
muted.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we can hear you.
Okay.
Zori,
yes.
Really quick question. Are you part of the StreamYard Facebook group?
No.
Okay, I would jump on that. They have a group of mentors. Christian and I are both mentors there. Leticia's a mentor. And there's a whole bunch of them, and they can help give you the individual attention that you want.
Thank you. What's the name of the Facebook page?
I just dropped it in the chat, actually, in the comments. It's just a StreamYard Facebook group, so it's /. Yeah. So just go join that. I think in terms of your so I'm trying to kind of diagnose some of this, and so part of it is going back to like the basics of sorts. Like, so for example, if you're using those the easy way to test would be, okay, so you plug in that one pair of headphones, don't use the splitter, plug that into the computer, see if that works, for example. Do you can you hear, can you blow into the mic? I always just do that test, inside of StreamYard, by the way, in the cam mic settings, there's a setting to where when you go under audio, you can test the mic and the audio as well. So you can see,
that will be the easiest way. So, because I've been trying to do a quick live background test and audio check and stuff and download it and then listening to it.
No, just do the standard way. So that'd be the first thing. Second thing, I would take that pair of headphones out. Chances are those Bluetooth headphones have a mic built into them as well.
They do.
Second thing I would do is put those in pairing mode, connect them to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So easy test would be play some music from one of your applications or something on your computer. Can you hear it? Okay, great. Go into your StreamYard dashboard, go into cam mic. Again, same thing. Make sure in this case, those headphones would be the microphone and the speaker.
Correct.
Okay. So then that would allow you that have one unit. You'd be able to listen to both. You could talk and see the meter going up and down. And then there's a test audio. By the way, you should check out that test audio. We did make a little tweak to it recently. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So that would be the second thing I think I would try, because like that's going to help isolate. That takes the splitter and all that stuff out of it. And all of those items right there on their own should 100% work.
Okay.
And so, because like, I mean, if it's just a pair of headphones, there's nothing else to this. It's, it plugs in one thing, right? So it should
and
work.
You should technicality just work. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what the best way, because if I turn on, like I said, while I'm doing this lives, it gets really hot. So I'm trying to have the fan and it picks everything, or sometimes I can't hear what's going on.
So that's the next one I try. And then I'm not going to immediately tell you to get new equipment. I'm not I don't want to tell you to get a mic or get a mixer, for example, or things like that. Because, the other option you can go the route of is to get, for example, you could get a USB microphone, or there's something we like the Samson Q2U. It's a $70 microphone. It has the microphone, and then on the bottom of it, there's a headphone port, and you literally connect the mic to your computer via USB, and then your headphones plug directly into the mic.
And where would I get this one? On the
Amazon
headset body as well, or Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. And you just plug headphones in, for example, and then that actually, it's a really good mic for $70. But again, not telling you to go get another mic.
So you said Samsung can you repeat that again, please?
It's called the Samson Q2U. Here, I'll
pull it up. Q2U. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Like I said, I'm not telling you to get, you shouldn't have to get other equipment, but it is something to think about. If you're going to, as you mentioned, you're just getting started. You've kind of been, you're doing really, I got to say, you're doing really good with your numbers, given the number of subscribers you have. And so this is just something to think about, when you're doing your streams. I'm not saying, oh, you need I don't want to tell you, oh, you need to go get the mic and the mixer I have, for example, because you don't need that to get started. Okay. But I'm trying to think of what's a good incremental step for you to take.
Yeah, which I'm totally okay with it. That's doable. I can do that.
So, for example, this is the Samson Q2U. It's a $70 microphone. And then I'll show you how this works. So it comes with this little stand. It is a handheld microphone. It obviously plugs in via USB. Okay. And then this is the bottom of the mic. This is what I want to show you. So here's the USB mic.
I see.
Connector. However, that big XLR output, I'm going to explain this. And this is another reason why we recommend this mic a lot of times. So this would plug into your computer. You'd plug a pair of headphones into headphone output. Maybe while you're buying this, you just order a standard pair of headphones that just plugs into that. And then this XLR connection, what is really useful about this is if at some point you're like, hey, I want to actually get a mixer or an audio interface. Mm-hmm. XLR is an audio standard, but you need a mixer to connect it to the computer.
Oh, okay.
So this mic actually is it's like a 2-in-1 sort of. It starts with, you can start using it as USB, and then you can upgrade to a mixer at some point if you ever need it, and you don't have to necessarily get a new mic to do that. You could use this for that.
So for this one, would you be able to put it on because again, I'm using my workspace here for makeup and doing these things, to put it maybe in an arm.
Yeah. There are arms that you can put this one in. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is an option. Yeah, there are arms where you have to have the arm. There's an adapter for it, as the usual thing, actually. But that's pretty much all you might need.
Now, for the correct placing for this will be straight forward.
For this kind of mic, so you could position this right in front of you. For example, it's basically a tabletop microphone stand.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to figure it out because of the camera. And like I said, I do a lot of movement going forward, backwards, eyeshadows, whatnot.
You're right. You need
and I don't
something.
want to be bumping into the mic.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to go back to, and I'm not going to tell you to get these, but I'm going to tell you.
But you're going to tell me what they are so I can go get them eventually.
No, eventually, yes. And that would be something like this. These are much more expensive, but given the fact that your application is makeup, right? You're showing people how to apply makeup, I assume, things like that, right?
Yeah. Well, gossiping.
Right. So if you're getting into like, hey, I'm showing people how to do the makeup, for example, you don't want to have, headphones on and, have a really short cable and be able to barely move around, or your hands get tangled up in them. And that's actually where I would look at something like these. I'd recommend the Rode Wireless Go 2, by the way. But I said these are $300.
$300.
Yeah. Okay. And the thing is that actually would then not this pair. This one doesn't let you connect to a computer, but you basically would be able to do this. For example, let me just put this on the shirt. Good little B-roll fail there, by the way.
I get the gist.
But you basically would just clip it on your shirt, maybe something like this, make it a little bit nicer. This would be able to plug into your computer, right? This is then able to connect to this. And then this would allow you to be able to move around and still be picking up your.
And that's what I was talking about with the mic direction. Even though it's a lapel mic, they do pick up the direction in different ways.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I will definitely have to do a mic check on that one. That's very, very interesting. Thank you.
Like I said, I'm not telling you to get these. I'm just telling you that this is an option.
I'm going to tell my husband. Christian said.
Actually, like I said, I want to get you working with what you have versus
I appreciate that. Yes.
Immediately getting something else. So, but yeah, do us a favor, join the Facebook group. If you have any other, let's keep working at this. Like I said, do the thing. So we tested the standard pink headphones you had.
Yes.
Let's test, and test the Bluetooth ones, for example. Turn them on, pair them with your computer, go into StreamYard, make sure your cam and mic settings are set to that pair of headphones, because that's going to be your speakers and your mic at that point.
The mic,
correct.
Sure
those have a mic. And even if it's not the best quality, let's at least get that working.
Okay.
So, yeah. Joel, by the way, Joel's saying no. I'm not sure what Joel's referring to, but.
You probably don't tell the husband that I said that you sent me.
Okay. That would actually be funny if it was your husband going on saying no. But yeah, so that's where I'd kind of start. And then the other thing you mentioned, you have a webcam that you're using, and if you're using the audio for that, for example, those again, start with what you have. If it's the external webcam, for example, they're gonna pick up a lot of noise. The mics aren't great, but they are a step up from a laptop.
Yes.
A lot of people, what they will do is this: they will use that as their camera, and then they'll have, for example, a pair of headphones that's running into the computer, and then they're using a USB microphone, for example. So they're basically separating all the channels out versus trying to do an all-in-one on some things.
That's kind of what I was trying to do. Just use the webcam as just a cam, and use the lapel and the headphones, and trying to separate my outputs throughout everything, inputs and outputs.
Yeah.
But I still, and I'm obviously I want to provide as best quality as possible. So I review my video post live.
Yeah.
Trying to see, okay, I need to fix what I need to fix. And most of them, of course, is the audio to me is been the biggest problem. And I just found out that when you have a lot of echo sometimes from, because I had one guest and it was awful that it was so much echo. and I check everything, I turn off everything, and then my husband is like, "Did you ask your guests to lower their volume?" It's like, no, because a lot of times you get the feedback, and I was like, but it was me the one that sounded with echo. It's like, well, yeah, you're receiving the feedback, but they're receiving the feedback.
So, well, so some additional feedback on, I'm going to give you some feedback on that. Like, one thing to consider, we talked about this earlier in the show. It was going into the cam mic settings, turn on echo cancellation.
I did, yes.
Okay. And then the other thing also would be like, encourage your guests to wear headphones. Like, because here's the thing, when they're not, like, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the show, we had somebody come on and they didn't have headphones on. And so it sounds fine to them, but what's happening is the audio was coming out and then coming back in. And so we were hearing them and ourselves, and that makes it really hard to focus. So we always recommend wearing the headphones for that, for every guest that you have come on. And then in terms of your audio, so Nick Nemen mentioned this earlier. We talked, I don't know when you joined us exactly, but we talked about like
about an hour and some change ago.
We talked about carpets, for example, putting carpet down, again, like so this helps to capture some of that sound and create some of that warmth. So for example, it also helps to kind of block some noise. So for example, if you have, you mentioned you have a fan running, fans do pick up, like your microphone is going to pick up a fan for the most part, depending on the type of mic you're using. For example, like I'm using I think this is a cardioid mic. And like when I talk this way, you hear it, it sounds different, right?
Correct.
Because the mic is designed to pick up what is in front of me.
What is that mic?
It's not going to be one to, I'll tell you what it is, but
I do need to know though eventually, so I can aim for it.
This is a Shure SM7B, but there is a Shure SM7B, a Shure MV7. They are on the pricier side. They're between $250 and $400, I think, for the mic.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't need that to get started.
I understand. It's good.
But you can hear the voice patterns and how it sounds.
It's because you sound clear, very crisp, and I do like that when you turn around, it does sound a little faded, not as clear.
Yeah,
and that does help with the white noise and everything else that is going on around. So it's concealed into that part. Yes. I like that. That's why I ask.
Yeah, it's but again, like we said, you don't need it. So,
I understand.
And I'll say you don't need it. It's not like, I mean, you can get whatever you want, but
yeah,
it's a luxury item.
Yeah,
I understand that.
And Calm Down Rich is actually saying, another potentially simple fix is a USB lavalier mic as well. Again, Amazon might have that.
Yes.
If it were me, if I were like, hey, you know what, I need to get some different type of equipment, I would consider going and making like one order on Amazon. Order multiple items, test them out, and then keep the one you want. I'd almost like keep two mics. I'd have one for backup and one for like the one I'm going to use, but make sure that they're going to work first. So for example, like on Amazon, there is a USB lav that's, about $20, for example. Again, and that's an omnidirectional mic, meaning it's going to capture everything around you.
Okay.
So omnidirectional is circular. Basically, it's going to capture everything around you.
Okay.
So, but there's a $17 one, there's a $20 one, there's a $45 one that has a 20-foot cable on it, for example.
Oh.
So, I would that is
20-foot cable.
Yeah.
Are you walking the dog?
I know,
with a microphone.
Right? But that's what I would do to start. Like, so let's just keep things moving. Let's test out that one pair of headphones. If we can't get that working, feel free to private message me and be like, hey, can you help me with this? More than happy to join and help you.
I appreciate that.
Try the headphones with nothing else. Make sure the mic settings are right in StreamYard. And then if we determine, hey, that doesn't work, and then you're like, well, hey, I'm just going to get the mic, or I'm just going to get the USB one. Maybe you order both, and you can test and see which one actually sounds the best. Because that's another thing about microphones, by the way. Microphones can sound different from person to person. So,
okay.
So for example, people are like, hey, go buy this one mic.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the best mic in the world, but it doesn't work with somebody's voice pattern.
Interesting.
It may not sound right.
Okay.
So yeah. And Joel's saying, you would have to try a couple. So
sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please keep me posted because I want to get this fixed and keep up all the great work you're doing with your streaming. You're doing an awesome job. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Anytime. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So again, I'm going to just reiterate, like, you don't have to get an expensive mic. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of mics out there. You're going to want to test a bunch of them and find out what's going to work the best for you. If you have, and again, I always tell people this, if you happen to have like a Guitar Center store near you, places like that, for example, they specialize in music equipment. But if you go there, they have every single mic set up and you can test them out. And they can actually, I think they actually can do recordings as well. I think you can actually have them record your voice and then you can actually go and listen to it. Or you could even ask them maybe, say, hey, how do I sound? How does it sound?
And they'll walk you through it too, because they're interested in that sale. And
the key thing is also, it's always to go in there as well. Just think about it like this. When you're streaming, for example, you want to make sure you're using the right, I'm going to use the tool example. So if you're building a house, would you use a hammer to get a screw to go into the wood? Probably not. Like, yeah, you could hit it, but it's probably not going to work as best than using the right tool, i.e. a screwdriver, to screw that into the board. So it's the same thing for streaming. You need a microphone. Great. You need a mic, but you want to make sure you also have the right type of mic for what you're going to be doing. So when you go to somebody like a Guitar Center, tell them like, hey, I'm going to be live streaming, for example. That will immediately put you in a certain type of microphone, for example. Or, they may ask you, well, hey, are you going to be live streaming? Yes, I'm going to be live streaming, but I'm also going to be doing a podcast. So they may say, use, a different type of mic that can be, used for both items, or they may say use two different mics. It really depends on the situation. But just some stuff to kind of, just some things to keep in mind, by the way. Okay. We got a couple more people. JP, you got a few more minutes?
Yeah. Can you share this screen for me? Because this goes back to our previous topic.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Your screen. Okay. I see what you're talking about. Okay. So here we go. So JP, what do we got going on?
Now embedded within StreamYard, you can see there's some checkboxes.
Okay. Yeah.
There's the echo cancellation and automatically adjust mic volume. That is gold. That is gold, guys. Make sure that you have that enabled. Because if you don't, echo cancellation, my microphone might be picking up the little bits and pieces that my headset's giving out. Get that checked.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your checks, what you want. Test it out. Right.
Excellent point. Yeah, no, I like that point. That's a great point there. Yeah. And thanks for highlighting this. And you're on a PC, but PC, Mac, doesn't matter. You go to the cam mic settings, and then you're going to see the audio option. And by the way, just another tip, if you have a guest on and you want to adjust their volume, you can go to can you exit out of that window, JP?
Yeah.
And then go down to like one of the video feeds you've got there.
Yep.
So the first thing is make sure your mic and speakers are set correctly. And then go down to the window on the left, by the way.
Window on the left.
Like the screen share that you had.
There it is. Okay.
So just know you've got these. Nope. Off to the left-hand side, like where your window.
My other.
Yes.
There's my mute.
Nope.
Stop
keep going.
cam.
Nope. All the way to the left of the screen. Keep going. Yep. There you go.
There it is.
So if you have a guest on, you can click the three dots that are there, and for example, you can edit their audio. So in this case, there's no audio to edit there, but click on yours. JP can say, in his case, like if you have a guest on, there will be an edit audio option, and you can adjust the guest audio. So this way, if it's too loud or you want to raise it or so forth, you can do all of that as well.
Or give them the boot.
Yep. Or you can do that too. So
okay.
So let's we got a couple more guests here, and then we're gonna do a quick giveaway. I want to thank everybody, by the way, for sticking with me. We had a few challenges today, so we had to run a little bit longer than normal. Okay, so we've got for Villa here, I think. For Villa, thanks for joining.
Hi, thank you so much, Christian, JP. How are you today? Thank you so much for the opportunity. I love this community. I've learned a lot.
Fantastic. So what questions do you have? What's your channel? What can we help you with?
Yes, I would like general advice on how you see my channel, what things I could improve, the thumbnails, maybe the little intro video that I made. It is, I'm sorry, English is my second language, so bear with me. Basically, it's a solo person show. I go daily live from Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Central in the US. Basically, it's a show in Spanish, and the subjects that I take are celebrity gossip, but not only. I also do some cultural facts and like architecture, fashion, whatever. And basically, I like a lot to create community with the people. And people so far have been great. I have less than 1 month in this project. So I will also like you to check my numbers and anything related that you can say.
Awesome. Okay, so I have your channel pulled up. So I got to say, I mean, the first thing I'm going to tell you right now is that you've got 400 subscribers, but you're getting about 400, 300, 400 people viewing these. This is pretty awesome, actually. These are good numbers, very good numbers.
Thank you.
Those are excellent numbers, yes.
So I think, and part of that could be like knowing who your audience is. I think that's important. I think the other thing though is like, I think part of it is that you are going live on a daily basis. You know, again, not everybody has to, you don't have to go live every single day, you know, for everybody that's watching, but you know, it does help you build consistency as well. So if you start to build that group and get them to tune in, you know, on a daily basis, like they're going to want to keep watching your show as long as it's exciting. So I think that's really good actually. So JP, where do you want to start with this one?
Okay, let's start with this page right here. You've got donations via PayPal.
Yes.
Okay. First thing I would do is take that out. I would put that as a pinned comment in every
I do
video.
also, and I leave also a link in the comments in each video.
Okay. I would take that out because you are taking the person off your YouTube channel when they click that. And then I got to go back and do it again.
All right.
Then I would put that as a pinned comment.
Okay.
Second thing, part number 2, your microphone.
Oh, yes, I know. I have a low-tech equipment, to say the least. I'm using whatever I have. I cannot spend a lot of money right now in buying.
I'm not saying upgrade. I'm not saying upgrade. You're popping. Pop, 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 pop. Bring it a little bit away from your mouth.
All right. How about this?
Okay.
I'm going to show you. This is a lap mic that I attached to an older headset. So
yeah. Just bring it a little bit away.
So hold on. So it's a sort of like a
little away because you're popping too much.
Okay. How about this?
That's good. That sounds good.
All right. It's actually even better because I smoke during the show. So
so do I. I'm dying for a smoke, but Christian's not letting me off the hook yet.
So yeah, so okay, so that's next thing. I think the other thing I think I would add to this, I'm not going to review the YouTube channel, but I'm going to give you a couple of quick tips. I would actually, if you're going live at the same time every day, I'd put the time up here. So like, or let them know how often, you know, a day, you know, I'll show you.
Where should I put it?
In your channel artwork up here at the top.
All right. I got it.
Like something that says like, you know, a daily, like for example, the fact that it's daily or, you know, daily at whatever the time is, for example.
All right.
I think I would do that. Now let's check out. And like I said, I love the numbers. These are great. You know, and like you got a lot of like creative ladies saying awesome numbers. Like, I mean, that's pretty fantastic. So
thank you.
So let's just go into one of these. Okay. So let's see, let's just pick this first one. And I'm gonna mute this so we can at least kind of play.
The music is non-copyright from YouTube library, so don't worry.
Okay, so I do want to mention actually something about that. That's a good point. So I got to say I like the thumbnail you got here.
It's actually a video, an animated video with music used for intro and for going out.
I like how it sort of fits in with what you your overall like artwork and things like that. I like that.
Thank you.
The other thing also, okay, so one thing to mention about, are you streaming to just YouTube or are you streaming to other channels?
Just YouTube for currently.
Okay. So one thing you're going to have to keep in mind, and it may not happen immediately, it could happen at some point, just because you're using YouTube music from YouTube. If you decide you want to stream to Facebook as well, Facebook may not allow that music on their channel. They may not have the rights to play it. So you do have to keep that. So if you do make that switch, or you decide you want to stream to other places, just think about that. It may require changing your music, buying it from a different service, things like that.
Okay, so, currently it's only YouTube. I'm thinking Twitch. Twitch it seems very juicy to me.
And by the way, NLTMW likes your retro futuristic vibe as well, by the way. So
thank you.
So
mid-century modern. Yes, I love it.
So I'm going to do a quick intro, and then how long is the intro, by the way?
It's like a 2-minute, but I just leave it as long as I mean, not that very long. I try to be around 30 seconds, 1 minute. And then I just click stop and start.
Okay, so why does it loop, I guess? Or did I miss something? Is it just looping a bunch of times?
It is a song that lasts like 2 minutes and a half around.
Okay.
But then I start. I just click whenever I feel ready, and my guest, when I have the guest.
Okay.
And we just go live.
Okay, so I'd say I like the intro video. I think the one thing that threw me off was that it was looping the same thing again and again. I would just like have it be a set length and know, okay, I have 30 seconds or I have 1 minute to go live.
All righty.
Another thing I think I would also adjust, you need a background.
Yes.
Background. I mean, because you've got the awesome branding, at the beginning, and your thumbnails are good, and then like your background.
Yeah, it's such a shame that I'm currently using the basic option StreamYard gives. I cannot spend currently that much, and I started using OBS for that. So videos that I go solo, I use the StreamYard for the easy of use, and I love the easy of use, user friendliness that it has when I have a guest. But when I go just by myself, I'm using OBS, and I use a lot of graphics there.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, it looks like you get a lot of good interaction during your stream as well, which is
nice. Yes, they are very active.
So I think, and then I guess the only other thing I'd look at, like, so your streams are about an hour and 17 minutes in this case.
Yes.
Like, I love all the engagement. Do you ever notice, is there a point where you get to the point where people are like starting to drop off?
Well, yeah, they last around 17-20 minutes per show. I mean, what's the statistics YouTube is giving me.
Okay.
But most of the people that are very active in the chat, they stay for the whole show.
Okay, cool. So the only thing I would say is, like, if you can make them as long as you want them to be.
Yes.
But look at your YouTube stats and see if you can get some insights into, for example, is there a drop-off point where people are stopping? Like, is it, hey, all of a sudden it gets to be like, hey, there's 2 people watching and I've been going for like, an hour and a half, for example, or something to that effect. Because you may want to like consider, if the stats tell you this, you may want to shorten it. Like, hey, it's 45 minutes or it's 60 minutes and cap it at 1 hour. What's your point, JP?
I'm pointing at you, Christian, because Fravilla, I want you to think about this, and I want everybody in the audience to think about this. I'm going to take an hour and a half of my time to watch you. So watch you. This is very, very important on the replays. What makes you more important than the movie that I've just downloaded? Or show that I could have watched on Amazon, which is a high quality production. What makes you take my time? That's where the value comes in. We need to add that value to our live streams, whether it be through the interaction, whether it be through the content. What is it that you have to offer? Add that value, because my time, I'm going to choose you or I'm going to choose a movie.
Sure.
Which is it going to be?
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I'm saying, like, it's about finding what that sweet spot is. So if you notice that, like, hey, you know what, 45 minutes in, it's doing pretty well, or it's like, kind of growing a little bit, and then it just totally nosedives, and you go for like another 30, 45 minutes. That's the only thing I'd look at is, setting essentially like a boundary, because then it forces your show to be very concise. And then at the same time, by not having that boundary, you kind of just let it run, and it comes back to time.
Okay.
So, but I think overall, I mean, is there anything else you want to add, JP?
The only thing that am I pronouncing the name correctly? Frevilla?
It's actually Frevilla.
Frevilla.
It's the initial of my first name, Fernando, and my last name, Revilla, but you can say Frevilla and it's okay.
Okay, Frevilla. The only thing I can add, not about your stream in particular, your ring light, can you offset it a little bit to the side so it's not a direct reflection into the glass?
Yeah, sometimes I do this so it doesn't reflect. Like I move my glasses like that.
Yeah.
Because if I move it, and I do wear some powder just not to shine that much.
No, good call. That's a very good tip, actually, by the way. If you notice you have a shiny forehead.
Not today, though.
I would shift it to the right. Yeah. I would shift it to the right so that it's coming at an angle on the right side of your face. Your left side is fairly lit up. It's the right side. I would just shift it and tilt it, so it's not directly reflecting your glasses.
Okay, good. Thanks for that advice. What do you guys think about the thumbnails I make? I made them in Canva, and I use a free version of it.
I think they work. I mean, I think that, like, it's hard to say, is that why somebody clicks? But I think what is here, and I'll pull these up real quick. So I think what's important here is that I think it's the person's name you've got on there. So you've got Tony, you got Tommy, for example, and you got Dua, for example, and you have Metallica on this. I think I will say the ones that work the best for me, I like the Andy one, potentially like the Dua Lipa one, the Metallica one, not so much, because it's really hard to read that text.
To Crowder, yeah.
I think there is a lot of text on these as well.
Okay. That's because I put like two themes in one single, and I think that is not working. It works better when I use one topic, because I usually have like 5 different topics, 5 different news.
Right. So that's another thing. I would pick one topic to focus on.
Alrighty.
For example, as well.
Gotcha.
And I want to make sure I want to actually bring up a really good point from knowing to doing. They say give them a bit less and they want more.
But the thing is that they say, oh, it's lasting very few when I do less than an hour show. So people is asking me to stay longer and to interact with them, put them on the screen and just read them along. I'm very warm to them, very Latin warm. We kiss a lot. We send hugs and stuff like that.
Again, if it's working, keep doing it. But just also know that, like, I'll use the celebrity model. So if you're like, celebrities, like, they make public appearances when movies and things like that are coming out, right? But they're not always in the public eye. And so it's sort of like, it's like you give a little bit and then you take some of it away. So in their case, like, they're not always out and about, like, promoting things. Like, they go out when something's coming out and then they kind of go into sort of hiding in a way. So
this is kind of a word of caution. YouTube burnout is real.
Mm-hmm.
When you're posting every single day, the people come to expect that, and you're posting at a specific time and you don't meet those expectations, expect a lot of mail.
Okay.
Right. So keep your pace. Keep what you're comfortable with. Don't try and overdo it. Don't overpromise.
Okay.
As you're leveling up, as you're getting better, then maybe you want to up the frequency, or up the length, or do something different. But when every day, and then you've got a job and you've got family and you've got this, burnout is a real thing. It happens.
The thing is that I'm enjoying this so much that it's the very first time I'm taking this as a job, as a full-time job. Okay. And it's the first time in my life that I'm actually enjoying what I'm working on. So for me, it's a pleasure. I don't mind the burnout yet.
Well, again, something to keep in mind. And then a couple other points here. So I'm going to just bring up Calm Down Rich, saying try starting a free Linktree account as well and refer them there until YouTube establishes your channel. Yeah, that's another thing as well. So you could put that in, for example, that could be your pinned comment at the top, which links to a page where there could be, the donation button and then your social media platforms, for example, that you want to drive them to, things like that. But again, make sure you pay attention to the analytics. I think overall, I think it's a good, I think the content looks good. Like I said, just a couple little small tweaks there. And then I think overall, I think that, like I said, I think it looks good. A few tweaks. And then as JP, and I both talked about, like, the burnout aspect.
Yes.
Again, you're saying, hey, I'm accessible all the time. So you kind of have to set that, as you have to set those boundaries. Otherwise, people are going to expect you to be live all the time. So, all
right, I'll take into consideration that. Thank you so much. Yeah. And another thing, Christian, is your chair super expensive? Like most of your products you use.
My chair?
Yes, I need to change my chair, and I'm looking for options.
Office chair. Office chair.
Okay.
Office chair, yeah. So
not gaming chair. Office
yeah, I know. I'm not going for the gaming chair, but there are some Harman Kardon that are super expensive. I mean, Herman Miller.
Yeah. No, I'd say, from an office chair standpoint, like, you can go to, I don't know where you're located.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, there's tons of stuff on Amazon.
Yeah, but I have to check Amazon in my country, which is Mexico, by the way.
Yeah, so see what's available. You don't have to get an expensive office chair. Like, this is just like a standard mesh.
That's wonderful. The one you have there. It looks wonderful, the one you have.
Thanks. It's literally it's a standard mesh chair with, like, I think the bottom's like just foam. That is, I think I would say this, that is one thing you do want to consider when you're getting a chair, is what's going to be in the shot. And then the other thing also is, like, this one, the base is foam versus, like, there are ones that are just mesh, and some people don't like mesh. Is good, but is it actually providing enough support? Like, you just have to kind of keep in mind, like, if you're going to be sitting at your chair quite a bit, get something that, you might want something that's more supportive. So,
all right,
a few $100s, I think, for a chair, or even less. So,
okay, guys, light up the chat with your bottom jokes. Light it up.
So yeah, so that's what we'd recommend. But if you have any questions, just let us know. Okay.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, this Swiss Army of the StreamYard things, Christian. I'm sorry, Leticia wasn't able to be here, and I would have loved to say hi to her. I really like her, and also Mel. I have learned a lot from Mel and from all the StreamYard team. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Anytime, more than happy to help, actually. So, thank you very much again, and keep up the great work you're doing. With your channel, you're doing a nice job.
Thank you. You're going on vacation, right? You mentioned that in the previous show.
I haven't gone yet, but we'll be back on. I got to get the date. It'll be like the first week of August. Let's see. Let me see what date that is. So, I guess that's the 7th. I think we'll be back on the 7th of August with the show. So, but yeah, we'll let you know.
All right. Enjoy your time.
Thank you.
Have a good one, JP. Take care.
You too, man. Take care.
Sorry for cutting you off. I didn't mean to cut you off there, actually. By the way, JP Zori says she says she'd go to sleep on your chair. It looks so inviting. Yeah,
this chair is terrible. Christian, I will tell you, this chair is terrible.
And why is that?
It's got the flared sides.
Okay.
And it hits me right in the thigh.
Okay.
So that's why I recommended an office chair.
Yeah.
An office chair is something that you're going to be sitting down in for 8 to 9 hours a day. A gaming chair, maybe 3 or 4. Maybe. But the flared sides on the gaming chairs, they cut right into my thigh.
Yeah.
And then the armrests are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Get an office chair, guys. Don't spend the money on a gaming chair. It's just a total waste.
Okay, we got one more guest, by the way, for the show for this week. And by the way, yeah, I 100% recommend what JP's saying. Like, get the right. It's going back to the same thing we talked about earlier. Get the right equipment for what you're doing. So, for example, if you're going to be in that chair a lot, make the investment in the chair. Like that, that's something you have to kind of think about. Again, most of the chairs, I mean, they have a mesh design. I think for Villa, I think he mentioned what was it called? He mentioned Herman Miller. Herman Miller makes great chairs. They're actually the ones that created the mesh items. Like they created that design of an office chair. So like they've been around for a long time, and that's what a lot of the other ones model off of. That is something also to think about. Like you get different qualities. So some of those chairs, I think they have I think it's like at least a 10-year warranty, maybe. Just double check that. But those chairs have a lot of they have an extended, basically a really long warranty, whereas a typical chair you buy, might last you a year. So you kind of have to look at, how often you may want to replace things like that. And again, also Calm Down Rich mentions, again, if you're getting a chair, get something that doesn't squeak. For example, if I notice my chair starting to squeak, I get the tool out, I tighten it up. So
the wife's chair is so noisy.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay, we got one more guest. I'm going to bring on Matthew Lyman on. Matthew, give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Awesome. So we're bringing Matthew on. How we doing, Matthew?
Good, guys. How are you?
Nice T-shirt you got there.
Well, Christian, this is because of you. I was on a show, and it's because of you. I was on a show with Mel and Kevin, and they were showing how to get they're great guys. They were showing how to get engagement, and they had the giveaway tool as a demonstration. Well, we won the demonstration. And they said, oh, sorry, it's a demonstration. And you made the executive decision that we need to give them something. And this is the T-shirt that I got.
Well, fantastic, by the way.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we want to talk about chairs real quick, by the way. So that is another thing. Like, I know you're in, I think, is that a dining room chair?
This is a dining room chair, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had the same thing where I worked in a dining room chair for a while. And again, if you're going to be sitting in a chair, like it does mess with your posture, your back, all that sort of stuff. So it's about, again, talking kind of what JP was saying earlier about burnout, things like that. It's about making sure that, if you're streaming a lot, like make sure you are comfortable doing what you're doing. It's why people buy like the gaming chairs, I think, because don't they have they might have like foam in certain places and things like that because you're sitting down for a long time and whatnot. But again, get the right chair for what you're doing, provided obviously it also fits the budget and things like that. So Matthew, I want to thank you, by the way, for joining us. So what question do we have today?
What I had is that when we had the branding, when we go on live stream, we had the countdown timer.
Okay.
And what we wanted to do is with the countdown timer, when we had the branding video following that right after. But there was a little bit of space in between. And I was looking to mesh them together. And I was thinking maybe it might be a Canva Pro, that we can do it on Canva Pro or Wondershare Filmora, that we can take the countdown timer and the branding video of like 12 seconds and have them transition into one, and then we go into our live show. How can we do that? Do you suggest Canva Pro? Do you suggest Wondershare Filmora? What do you think?
Your Mac or PC user?
PC.
Okay. So what I would probably recommend doing is, and I have Canva. I just haven't checked if I can actually, I do most of my video editing outside of Canva. But let me see if you can actually do.
Yeah, I use Wondershare Filmora.
Yeah.
Version 10.5. I use that for our YouTube videos, and I use Canva for our thumbnails.
Okay. So I think what I would try to do is I would do this. Since we don't have transitions built into StreamYard, I would take my first video, if this is something you're going to play all the time, or make 2 versions of it. I would take the first video, add a transition. I would probably do that inside of Filmora, and then tack on your other video and have one complete exported file.
And then bring that on over to, StreamYard, right? And then put it into our branding. I was thinking the same thing.
That's what I would do.
One of the other things that we mentioned, because the focal point of our show here today was to get engagement and to get people involved. One of the things I learned from Desiree Martinez, she was very helpful. I was watching one of her shows, and I'm not making any money on this, but I should, because I know people that bought it since I mentioned it. I have a FlexiCam on our monitor right now. Because I was on a show a few months ago with you and Leticia on the laptop, and I'm looking down. Well, we upgraded lighting, background, sound. We have upgraded so much. Thank God I have a business that can afford to pay for all of that. Thank God, I do. Thank God. Absolutely. And what we do is we have the FlexiCam right here. Here's where the camera is. So I'm actually looking at the camera, but it shows that we're looking at you and JP. And I didn't really people had that. It's expensive. This was like $85 for this FlexiCam.
Yeah, it's literally a piece of plastic, but yes. And actually, I'll show you all this because I actually like the fact that you actually have it. So this is the FlexiCam. So this is, let's just talk about it real quick. So my camera is slightly above me, and then there's actually a little screen above it. So if you do see me not making eye contact with you, part of it's because I'm kind of trained to look at the little screen instead of just looking directly into the camera. And that does potentially break, your when you're talking with your audience. And you also see me looking off to the sides also because I'm looking at comments, things like that. However, but like Matthew said, right now he is able to look right into the camera, and that's because he's using actually one of these. So this is a FlexiCam. Basically, it's this plastic piece that goes on top of your computer. And that's weird that the screen's not scrolling. One second. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is a FlexiCam. Basically, it goes right on your screen, and then it allows you to have that camera looking right at it, but kind of be somewhat hidden, allowing you to have it in the middle of the screen over top of all your stuff that you're doing. So
the only thing that they did there, Christian, that they really should not have done is that when you look at the camera going up and down, you can't do that, because when you do, it will scratch the piece that hands on. Yes, it scratches the monitor piece. So what you do is when you take it off, you take the camera off, you take off the little piece that goes inside where your camera is attached. You take that out, and then you adjust the sleeve up and down. See, where it is here at the bottom, right where that was, you take that piece out first. Before you move it up and down, because if you do, you'll scratch the FlexiCam itself. So they tell you that in the instructions, but on the video that you see there in front of us, it's showing that it's going up and down, and you're not supposed to do it that way. So you really should not have done that video right there, as you see. It should not have it that way. But it's a great camera. It really is.
It's a great little option. Basically goes, it allows you to, put your camera up in the right position and literally look right into that. So no, thanks for sharing that. And I like the fact that you're actually demoing it so people can actually see that you're able to then look right into it.
Yeah, right here. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. And the only adjustment I think I would have for you, by the way, is that it's almost like you need a little bit, your camera needs to be a little bit further back. Because exactly.
I actually did that because I want to show up my StreamYard.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
So that's why normally we have it down lower, but I want to show up the t-shirt. We also got another one. We got the black one with the StreamYard across that. We were featured on one of Kevin's shows, and the question was, how do we get overlays on their videos and photos? And Kevin had our show featured, or had a question featured on one of his shows. So we actually had that t-shirt as well. So we're getting a nice stock of product from StreamYard. So thank you.
Oh, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. You're lucky.
One of the things that you see me a lot too, Christian sees me a lot, JP, and a lot of the shows, how much I like Mel, I like Kevin, and I have the luxury of owning my own business for 31 years, so I can sit back at my office and watch during the day because I have staff that will handle what we do. and I'll watch that. So they sometimes only see me as the landlord advocate. So I'm like, well, my name is Matt. So today when I joined on today, I decided to splice it too as Matthew Lyman and the landlord advocates. What we do, and I know that you asked this before, Christian, is what we do as the landlord advocates. We've been on YouTube a little over about 16 months. We have over 750 subscribers, 23,000 views of our 60 videos. As we all know, across America, there's a lot of issues going on. Thank you, JP. A lot of issues going on with landlords, eviction moratoriums, rent control. And that's what my business has been around for, going on 31 years. And so we decided to start the landlord advocates during the pandemic to educate people as to their what they can do, what they can't do as a landlord. So that's what we do at the landlord advocates. Because I know you had asked some previous guests, what is your channel about? And that's what we do. That's what we do. But yeah, we've learned a lot from watching StreamYard. We have learned a lot during the day, during the night. We love it. And it's allowed me to get this different lighting equipment that we have around us, sound equipment. It's great. I just love it. I love it.
Fantastic. I want to thank you, by the way, for coming on. Did you have another question for us or anything? Or
no, that was it. I just wanted to see how we can transition. And I figured that it might be either Canva Pro or it would be Wondershare.
Okay, I have a question for Matt.
Sure, JP.
Okay, it's kind of a two-part question. When was the last video that you watched and said, I want to see that intro?
I don't think it really has. I don't think I have. My intros are like 12 seconds long. But you're right. And there isn't one that I've said, I want to see the intro. We have an opening line that we use when we go live and when we do on YouTube. And it goes like this. This is the Landlord Advocates, where we help landlords become better landlords. I'm your host, Matthew Lyman. Welcome. That's the line that we open up our videos with. Go ahead.
Okay. And the second part is the intro pertinent to the video that you are posting?
Yes.
Because every I see too many YouTubers have the same intro video across all their videos, and that has absolutely nothing to do with the topic that they are going to discuss.
No, what we do, I'm not saying you should, because I know we're running late, but if you were to look at my channel, you'll see the banner. But our intro is photographs of different things that we do for landlords and for the business that we have. So everything is the niche is landlords, rent, income property, real estate. So the intro covers all of that.
Okay, but the question is, let's say, what are you talking about today? Are you going to give me an intro about what you're talking about today?
No. That intro, what we do when you send it to JP, before we get into the intro, we give a little teaser. Like, landlords, you are not going to believe what the New York State Legislature has done to landlords today. You want to know what it's about? Here is what it is. And then, bam, then we go into the intro. Video, and then we go into the topic, JP. So, yeah, now I know what you were saying. So, yes, that's what we do.
Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Give the teaser, keep the suspense rolling. Yes. You want to keep the audience captivated.
Thank you, JP. And that's what we do. We give them a little bit of a teaser. Because you're right. I've seen people who will start a video and the intro was so long that you've already lost my interest. Your topic may be great, but you need to grab me first to make me want to stay. And I agree with you. That's what we do now. And that's one of the things that we've learned in a little over a year and a half that we've done YouTube and live streaming. Our live streams are greatly intended in reruns, rebroadcasts. It's great. I always thought, and as you can tell, and I mentioned this one time before to Christian, I have a minor speech impediment. And that was the impediment to me starting YouTube and starting the live stream. But I have found the major impediment that I had was me. My trepidation to do this was so foolish that we have got so many people that follow us on our social media. I have a team that works for me off of social media. I have a social media team that gathers information for our channel. I'm kicking myself in the butt for not starting this years ago when I wanted to.
And Matt, you are exactly correct. And that is the problem with people going live. Self-confidence. Let's put it that way. I don't have confidence in myself. Just do it. Just do it. Your audience will tell you how to tweak. Your audience will tell you this. They will tell you what you like and what you don't like. And the haters, the haters will say, blah, 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 blah. Take it with a grain of salt, because everybody needs a little bit of salt in their diet. Right? Read it for what it's worth and move on. But not starting, that is where the problem lies.
Yeah. And what was foolish, JP, is that for me not to start was foolish because I've served on a college board of trustees. I'm in politics. I've served on boards for many, many years. So I've had to hammer and gavel. I've done at government boards. But for going on social media, it's I'm there, I'm bam, I'm in your face. When the board work is that it's an integral, it's evolving, and then you become a member, and then you become the chairman of the board or chairperson of the board. On social media, you're there, you're right there, bam, I'm in your face. And that is where I was worried about, but I'm not worried anymore.
Yeah, people see YouTube and other social medias. I can't do it. I can't put myself out there. You have an option to turn off the camera. You have the option to do it.
Absolutely.
But let the people hear your voice. Let the people hear what you want to say. You can do it.
Yes.
What movie is that from?
Not sure. There was a gentleman that I used to watch. He's not on YouTube anymore. It was about how to, integrate smart home devices, because my home is a smart home.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had an eye condition, and somebody had made a very nasty, disparaging comment about him. He is no longer on YouTube. So that one awful person ruined a gentleman who was interested in helping people. And that is JP. They can turn it off. If you don't like it, and we've had spam comments on our YouTube channel, and I've had one person comment, I can't even listen to your voice. I gotta, goodbye. You're gonna lose out on 31 years of experience that can save you. Not right now. If you do certain things wrong in the landlord world, you can be hit with a $500,000 fine by the federal government. So if you don't want to listen to what we know, my team of over 100 years of experience, if you think that my voice is an issue, and that goes for everybody across the board. It might be somebody who might be very large on social media. It might be somebody that has red hair, dying. Who cares? Listen to the message that the person is conveying, because that would be the thing that will help you the most.
200% gold there, people. Let's see some thumbs up, some likes. Come on, pound it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it, and for the great question, and then for also sharing that tip about the camera, by the way. So really appreciate that, and for obviously wearing the StreamYard t-shirt. So
absolutely, baby, absolutely.
Very cool.
All right, my friends, thank you and take care.
Thank you. You too.
I will. Bye-bye.
See you later, Matthew.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Speaking of StreamYard t-shirts, by the way, let me just take one last, let me take one last quick question, or a quick comment actually, and then we're going to jump into the giveaway real quick that we're going to do. So this comment comes from Alex Gordon. He says, have to start, dive in with what you have. Absolutely. That's the key thing is, we make it easy. We're the easiest way to help you live stream. However, again, you don't have to have expensive equipment, things like that to get started. You don't need the fancy mics, the fancy cameras, things like that, especially if you're getting started. Just start. And then, if you find something's working, consider making a little small upgrades to level up your live streams. So again, like start with what you have and then build and build and build on top of that. So, and if you're somebody who's not comfortable being on camera, as JP mentioned, you can, for example, you could turn off the camera. You could just do the audio feature. Like StreamYard has an audio feature where if I have the feature enabled, for example, if I turn the audio avatars on in cam mic settings and then I stop my camera, look at that.
Yep.
I'm still on screen with you all. I'm talking to you, but hey, you can't see me. So again, you know, you got to start somewhere. If you don't start somewhere, you're never going to start. And that's the key thing. You got to start.
I know a lot of people that do no cam and it's audio only.
Yeah.
And those are the perfect transitions for the video to podcasts. Those guys are fantastic. The options are there, guys. Utilize them.
By the way, I just want to say just a big thanks to everybody who's been tuning in today. I know we went longer than we were anticipating due to some technical issues, things like that. But Jolene, is it Jolene or Jolene? Let me know, please, which one it is. But I want to thank you for all the fantastic comments you've been giving. Landlord Advocates been giving good advice. NLTMW, Adam's Exploits, Freedom Patriot Network here.
Yeah, we've had a great audience today.
So many people, even people that came on, asked questions, and then they were back in there commenting. So I just want to thank you all, on behalf of StreamYard, thanks for tuning in for this week's show. What I do want to do real quick is run a quick giveaway. And by the way, this is a tool that you have access to in your StreamYard dashboard. So all you have to do is go to StreamYard.com/giveaway. And this is what that looks like. I'm going to share my giveaway screen real quick. So if you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, you're going to have access to this tool as a StreamYard user. And you basically can then go in here and you're going to see in the dropdown, you're going to see different live streams. So this is the one we currently have going on. This is one we have set up and so forth. And you could put in a hashtag or a little tip here as well if you want to collect all the comments. You don't have to actually put anything in. You can just start clicking the giveaway. So you just do this, start collecting, and it would start collecting on that stream that you're running. I'd recommend, for example, starting it maybe at the beginning of the show so you don't forget don't forget to start it. So with that, we're going to give something away, and I haven't actually. Let's see. Let me pull up the giveaway tool. You can put a hashtag in. You could even, if you want to, just put just give us the thumbs up, give us the StreamYard duck. You could just tell us, hey, you know what? I really like the live stream. Keep it up, etc. Just put something in the comments.
Hashtag puddles.
You can do hashtag puddles if you want to. I'm not sure what that's going to bring up, but you can do anything you want to. And enter the giveaway. And then what we're going to give away today is, let me see. You know what? Let's do a StreamYard t-shirt, actually. So we'll give away a StreamYard t-shirt. And then all you have to do is, again, just put something in the comments for us. We'd really like that. And then that will help us pull the winner. So just put something in the comments. And then this is what that's going to look like real quick. So I'll give you guys a few more minutes. All right, let's give them like 30 seconds. JP, what do you think?
Yeah, give them about 30 seconds, 45 seconds around there.
People here, look at that. So it goes up while we're obviously doing it. We got lots of comments. Puddles rocks. We got love StreamYard. These are good ideas for hashtags. Thanks a lot, by the way.
Did somebody say Puddles socks?
Rocks, actually.
I know he's got yellow feet.
We don't have Puddle socks, actually. That is a good idea.
I know he's got yellow feet, but
fantastic. And by the way, you only have to enter once, and then you get added to the giveaway. So, so that's all you have to do. So with that, I think we're gonna draw our winner. Let's give it another 10 seconds. Okay, lots of people here, lots of entries. And Creative Lady, thanks a lot. We love the StreamYard shows. We love hearing that. So, okay, cool. So this is how the StreamYard giveaway tool works. We're just going to simply just hit draw, and it's going to pull in a winner. Just a quick note here. It does pick up the branding, by the way. So whatever you have in the brand section for the color for your live stream, like for example, we use this yellow. That's what pulls up into the broadcast. If you ever need to draw again, for example, if it, let's say I got pulled into it, you just hit draw again. I want to thank Simply Talking Podcast.
Simply
Congrats.
Talking. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
So Simply Talking Podcast, this is what I need you to do. It's very simple. You just need to send an email to marketing@streamyard.com. Just put in the subject giveaway. Just tell me I need your address. Let's see, address, and then your t-shirt size, and we'll send you a StreamYard t-shirt. So remember, this is using the StreamYard giveaway tool, by the way. So again, the StreamYard giveaway tool available at StreamYard.com/giveaway. With that, just a couple of quick notes. So the next episode of Livestream Reviews is going to be August 7th. Let me make sure I got the date right. August 7th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, that's the first week, right? We're going live the first and the third weeks of every month.
Okay, that's Eastern Standard Time, so that's going to be Sunday, August 8th for me.
Cool. So
that's okay.
August 7th,
That's okay. That's okay. All good. All good. All good.
Awesome.
All good.
So we're going to be going live then. So we're going to take a little bit of time off here, and then so we'll see you all in essentially what is 2 weeks. And then with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Guys, thank you. Thank you.
And remember, keep live streaming, keep improving your live streams, and you can always come to us for questions. That's what we're here for. So thank you, everyone. It's been a blast actually doing this live stream. So
this was cool. This was cool. Thank you, Christian, for the opportunity. Thank you,
Anytime.
Audience, for the
We'll see
question.
y'all later. Bye, everyone.